What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 69. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by, back again, the best from the West, The Geek Show.
Good, everybody.
Phaneckswhy.
What up, what up?
And Ash is here, but he's not here. But you can see him. He's here. He's just not here.
Well, he's a Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, exactly. We got quite a bit of stuff to talk about today because there was some few things that did come out this week because we had the Game Awards. And on top of that, we had some other stuff that was announced before the Game Awards and something that was announced during the Game Awards. But before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are trying to hit 600 subscribers. We're sitting at 556. I forgot to update the counter there. I always forget that. But yeah, we're sitting at 556. So we're so close. We're trying to get 600 before the end of the year. So every subscriber counts. Definitely share the channel. We do this podcast every Sunday. And as well as we do a couple live streams. And I have a video that I try to pull out every week on YouTube. Unfortunately, these past 2 weeks, I haven't done a video really because my mic is really bad. I refuse to use any other setup. So I'm trying to figure it out to have at least one video come out this week, but hopefully very soon I can get a mic. I already got the mic picked out. I just, have to buy it. That's all I'm waiting on. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with some smaller news that I want to talk about. And I guess this first one is not really smaller news because a lot of people are very excited for this game. Me personally, I am not, but a lot of people are, and that is GTA 6 was officially revealed. We got a trailer showing off the world. And there's a bunch of other stuff that seemed to be announced, or at least like they were showing off, because there was actually leaks that were going on around the same time, and that's why they revealed the trailer a day earlier. And one of them is the map. I just found out that apparently the map is not just Miami, which is what Vice City is like based off of, but apparently there's going to be Tampa in there as well, which is pretty crazy because we're in the Tampa area, and that's kind of cool to see that they're going to be going there, and also Orlando as well. So
A very
now,
far drive.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are they gonna do that? Because it's from here to Miami, it's like 4 or 5 hours, like
Yep.
a 5 hour drive. So what are you gonna do in the game? I guess they're gonna condense it somehow.
Fast travel.
Yeah, that's true. Fast
Yeah,
travel, right?
plane.
Yeah, plane, right? There's also planes there. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they get that done. But apparently, like it's very detailed. So I would like to go ahead and I don't know. I might pick it up now just because it's in my area and I could kind of see if it's 1-to-1.
It'll be
Maybe
funny.
what?
Florida announced that they have that train, right? That high
Oh, the
speed bullet train. That's not really a bullet train.
mm-hmm.
It'd be funny if that's one of the travel options.
Oh yeah, from the one that goes from Orlando to Miami, I think it is.
Yeah, and there's one
Yeah,
technique that they're trying to do from Tampa to Orlando.
yeah.
Like it's gonna be that's like part of it, but it'd be funny if they added that in there.
Yeah, that's something that should have been done in Florida to begin with, because the state is so like long, kind of like California, right? It's like
Yeah.
so long. It's like why not have a train that just
We've been
stops
working on
by?
the one out here for the last 12 or 13 years, and
Yeah,
supposed to be one that's they say next year to go straight to Vegas, or it was supposed to go to San Jose or the Bay
yeah.
Area too, but we're still waiting.
I mean, if Japan can make high-speed bullet trains, just hire them to make these trains over here, because it's like it would be, I think, a more convenient way to get around, because you can go they go very fast and you get from one city to the next very quickly versus driving or taking the plane. It's just another form of travel, which would be pretty cool. But and anyways, are you excited about GTA 6, Geek?
Um, disclaimer: I've never beaten the GTA. I just play to get stars and beat up people, like most of everybody do. My favorite is still San Andreas because it was, it's LA, it's NWA,
Mhm.
Ice Cube, and Boys in the Hood. I'm gonna get it, and I'll probably stream it, but I'm not like super excited about it. What's her name? Lucia. She's a baddie, and what's his name? It's Lucia and James, right?
No, it's
But nobody gives a damn about the guy James or
yeah.
John. What's his name?
I have no clue. I forget what the guy's name
Her
is too.
Clyde.
Let's see.
She's cute. Oh, it's gonna make a lot of. They're very smart. It's gonna make a lot of. This is gonna be a big game. It's gonna make a lot of money. Um, and now they can charge $100. I've heard that it might be too.
I know.
That'll be crazy, but
Jason and
look how big it
Lucia.
is.
Jason. Yeah, it's Jason. So yeah, for $100, like that's a no. Like right away. Like if they're gonna charge $100 for that, no. Because if they charge $100 and people pick that up, that's just calling on other developers to charge $100 for their games. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Like, no, 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 no. Like, don't. If they charge $100, I hope nobody buys the game. Just let it sit there.
No, you know.
Yeah, the diehards are gonna buy it. Yeah.
I'm not even a diehard, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy it just to, even if it's 100.
Yeah. Oh
Honestly,
man.
I'm just not gonna
Don't
lie
do
to
it,
you,
geek.
just so
Don't.
I can get. I have to. If I can buy the $70 nothing but the office change PS5 version of The Last of Us, then why wouldn't I buy a new game that's actually gonna be online?
That's,
I,
oh man, yeah. Like,
I'm with you. That's part of the problem, but if a million people buy it for 100, it's not, and a million people are gonna buy it day one.
yeah,
So it's, even if it's 100, it's gonna be a wrap.
yeah, yeah. So we'll
I'm
we'll
with you. I
see.
agree. I don't want to. $50 is cool for me. 59 was too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember when games were 50 PS2 era. Games were 50, GameCube games and all that. That was the golden age of pricing, right? But even then, if you go by inflation and everything, $50 was a lot back then too. Because
Yeah.
I've told this story multiple times. Like the way I would get my games at that time is like my mom would give me lunch money, and that lunch money I would just hold on to. I wouldn't eat during
Mhm.
lunch. I would just hold on to it
Yep,
and then go ahead and buy a game that way. And that's how I bought like the majority of my games.
I did that too. With a whole bunch of action figures and comics, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I just wait till I got home and eat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. I would just wait,
Mhm.
got home, and then I was like starving, and I'll eat a lot from there.
Yep.
But that was the only way to get by. I remember I
I
wasn't even
mean,
saving up for PS3 because I was still in high
see,
school when PS3 came out. So I had to save up a lot. And of
I
course, I
mean, a
never
game
got
being
it.
$100 isn't too far off games being 50, $60 back then too.
Yeah, it's true. And
So I mean,
64
if
games.
you take inflation to account, it's more than $100.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, but I think
And
they
then
learned their
it's look how
lesson.
long the game is though. That's the thing too. Like not everybody can do this. Not
Yeah.
everybody can go that route because GTA 5 is still alive today. Like
Hmm.
people are still playing it. So it's that's why they can get away with, a 10-year hiatus. But we're not gonna see 7 until what, 41? That's it's gonna be another decade.
Yeah. That's true because they're gonna be selling the shark cards and all that stuff, And somebody told me too. It's like GTA 6 is probably not for me, or like they're the people who are gonna be getting GTA 6 day one is probably the shark card like buyers on GTA 5 right now that are doing the role playing and all that stuff because now they have a whole new town or a whole new city, state, whatever you want to call it to explore. And that's just, starting from ground zero. So yeah, that's true. Like you're right. Millions of people are gonna buy it because there's a lot of people that are active on GTA 5 online right now,
Mhm.
and it's still popular. A lot of people still play. Me and Fan know somebody that was a diehard like role player on GTA 5, and he was just nonstop on GTA 5. So yeah, that's that.
I know
But
some people that still stream it. They still
yeah,
stream it. They're still into it. It's that's why I was like, it's gonna be can't stop it. It's
yeah.
it's unfortunate, but I don't want look. Can I get a review code, please? Maybe
Let's do that. Hashtag give the Geek Show a review code. He deserves it.
review code, please,
He deserves it.
please. Well, if
Uh,
I could choose, it wouldn't be that. Let me get Rebirth
Rebirth,
months ahead of time. That's funny.
Visions of Mana. You know,
Hmm.
we'll be talking about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Nintendo Online, they actually had like a shadow drop during the Game Awards, which was Harvest Moon 64, 1080 Snowboarding, and Jet Force Gemini all coming to the Nintendo 64 Online, which I was actually surprised. I know a lot of people are excited for 1080 Snowboarding. That was one of those games I never played, but I was a huge Harvest Moon fan. And I was happy for Harvest Moon 64. I did play, what was it? The PS1 version. I don't remember what the name of it is. Like Nature or something, which has like a million remakes because there's Friends of Mineral Town, and there's something else of Mineral Town. They had a GBA version. There's a DS. There's so many different variations of that game. But yeah, Harvest Moon 64 is pretty cool. And I was thinking about it like a while back. I was like, wow, there hasn't been any new N64 games added in quite some time, and here they go. They dropped 3 in a row. And I guess that's for that, the few months that they didn't add anything to it. So kind of cool for anybody that wants to play those, which is nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Game Awards. So Game Awards had a lot of things to showcase. They weren't only just a award show, which I felt like they were less of an award show this year.
it's like 20% award show,
Yeah,
10% commercial,
yeah.
70%
Somebody
like
Somebody had wrote, I think it was
Yeah.
Brian Atomla from IGN during the Game Awards show. He's like, Christopher Judge's speech is longer than the amount of awards, or the amount of awards that they give in the Game Awards. I worded that wrong, but basically he was talking about how like they just kept going. All right, the nominees for so and so were this, and the winner is this. Okay, the nominees for this category, the winners is like back to back to back, like within 2 minutes they announced like 5 winners.
Mhm.
And it kind of sucks because I would have liked the Sea of Stars dev to had gone on stage and talk about Sea of Stars because they won Best Indie Game. It would have been really cool to hear their speech and have them talk about or hint at whatever new projects that they're working on now. Were you gonna say something, Geek?
Oh, I was just agreeing, and I always go back to 2021 when Tales of Arise won RPG of the Year, and
Yeah.
it got less than 20 seconds. What I would love to see is the piggyback on what you said. Like, can we at least get a 2-minute trailer to talk about the game?
Yeah.
I know they got to pay the bills. That's why they're doing it. They got to
Yeah.
pay the bills. I get it, Jeff.
Oh yeah, of
Got to
course.
pay the bills, but you know, it's a way to do it. At least 2-minute trailer for each game, like they do their real award shows. And
If anything, cut
there's
out
too much
all the
Sydney last
stupid little
time, but a
skits.
little more Sydney this time would have been
Yeah.
nice.
Cut out this dumb little skits. We don't need that.
We don't need the
gives a-
Muppets.
Yeah. Why did you need to have Gonzo go in? That was nothing. It added nothing to the Game Awards.
Yeah.
I
Like
liked it. I just wish they
Yeah,
would have
but
added
it-
more games.
It didn't add any sustenance to
You
the
know?
actual Game
Yeah.
Awards. You know, like it
Yeah.
was
No, I
just
agree
there
with
for
that.
filler. That's what it seems like.
no,
Yeah, just
I
give me the trailer to the game. Talk about the game for at least 3 minutes per game.
Yeah.
That would have been, for me, that would have been enough. Then you can advertise.
yeah.
Then you can advertise. You can QRC it, you know.
Well, instead of the ads, instead of replaying the same ads over and over during like the breaks in the Game Awards, like why don't you have these people have their stuff running through the show? Like it just felt weird. Not only that, like you had a lot of like actors showing up and they really didn't add to it. It's like why are you here? Just have somebody else do it. It just makes no sense. Like if you're in a game or if you're producing a game, that's a different story. Like you had I can't say his name. Abu, I can't remember. He plays father in Den of Wolves. He's the voice actor of Bayek.
But he actually had a hand in help producing it though.
Well, yeah, he's actually the
Yeah.
one his studio that's doing that. So it's like you having him there talk, and talk about the passion of this game that he's creating because that's his vision. That's cool, right? That makes sense. But like you had like what was it, Jordan Peele and Kojima there, and it was just like they didn't really say anything. Like the whole time I'm like, are you gonna describe the game? It's like, no, it's a cool collaboration, with the greatest, director in movies, and we have like the greatest video game director. I'm like, okay, well, so what are you gonna give me? Like,
Reminded me
what?
of Detroit Becomes Human. Or remember when they first announced Detroit Becomes Human, and what was the game before? Heavy Rain. It's
Yeah.
kind of what the trailer looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were just showing the blinking eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of weird things going on
remember.
with the game show. Oh, the game show, the awards, the Game Awards. Here we go. I'm here mixing up Geek Show and then Game Awards. The Game Awards. There was a lot of weird things just going on. I'm like, yeah, but it's not all hate. They did some really cool stuff there. They showed off some cool stuff. But before we get into that, we did all predict. Geek Show wasn't on the show. But the three of us here plus Bryant, we did try to predict, who was gonna win, and we did keep tabs on who got the most predictions correct. Fan, would you like to do the honors in announcing the winners and just what place each of us came in?
Yeah, so I gave points on whether the game you selected was the one you think was going to win or the one you wanted to win. All right, so either option was fine because it was the choice that we made. So we only did answers for 23 of the categories because a lot of them we just didn't bother making any guesses on. So out of 23, me and Ash tied for third with 11.
That's crazy.
James got second with 12, and Bryant got first place with 13. See, like it was very close. There was like one or two categories that were different.
Man, it's because I was following my heart versus following reality. That's what it was. Like I knew Baldur's Gate was gonna win, but I was like, no, Tears of the Kingdom. I would not stray from Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff like Pikmin 4. I know I said that Pikmin 4 was gonna be best strategy, right? Was that one of them that I chose? I'm almost positive I said Pikmin 4 versus Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it was best sim.
Or best, sim.
Yeah.
And that's because Pikmin 4 was very popular. It came out and a lot of people were talking about it, and it brought like Pikmin in the spotlight. It was the best-selling Pikmin game ever. It was on top the charts in Japan. And it was one of those things that I still hear people talking about. They've never played a Pikmin game. They talk about Pikmin 4 and how they've enjoyed it. So I was like, You know what? I'm pretty sure that's gonna win. I love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is my favorite franchise personally, but I can see the writing on the wall on what game somebody's gonna choose. And Pikmin 4 was there, and it's cool. I like to see a different Nintendo IP take the spotlight. It's nice to see that because I think Three Houses won an award when that came out for like best RPG or something. Like,
That's
correct
correct.
me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
won that. So at least Fire Emblem has won something in the past. So I'm happy to see a different Nintendo IP go there. But yeah, let's go over like all the Game Award winners real quick. Starting off with the most anticipated game. The choices were Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, Tekken 8. All really good games that are pretty hyped. But come on, Rebirth is what everybody really wants right now, especially it's so close in February. I'm surprised actually Persona 3 Reloaded wasn't on this list. Yeah, I would think that would have been on this list over something like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like a Dragon, but I don't know. I Persona 3 I figured would be somewhere like more hype, maybe. You don't think so?
No, not by a long shot.
You don't think so?
If
Because
it was anything with 5, that Persona 5 is what Final Fantasy 7 is to Final Fantasy.
to everybody.
So they're gonna, yeah, that's their flagship now. So
Yeah, that's true.
if it wasn't 5 or some kind of derivative of 5, people were like, "Oh, so we're going back." Like, I like Metaphor, but I know we get into that. But
Yeah.
that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Best adaptation: Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Twisted Metal. I think all of us chose Super Mario Brothers movie, right? Except for you, Fan. You chose The Last of Us.
I chose The Last of Us.
Yeah.
He was being more realistic with that one.
Yeah.
I know that.
Like Super Mario movie, I thought was a great movie. I think it's a great adaptation, especially for something that's just like original. It's an original story. It's not borrowing elements from a story that existed. I mean, I guess there is some elements of a story that existed. Gran Turismo was actually really good.
I don't know if there's elements of a story that was existed.
Well, I mean, Princess Peach. Well, I guess Peach didn't get captured in this one,
No.
so yeah. Well, no,
mean,
she
she was
did.
still-
She did for a little bit.
She did, but she was still like a baddie.
She-
Yeah.
Like,
she
as in,
was-
like she was badass. She
She
wasn't.
was more like threatened.
She wasn't a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
like Mario RPG ish,
Yeah.
which is my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that you find out that she's actually from New York. You know.
Yeah. What? You find that out in the movie? I don't remember that.
No, she's a little baby.
Oh no, Fan, you froze. Oh no, everybody
Yeah,
froze.
yeah, they
Yeah.
did show that. Yeah,
They show
actually.
that her backstory about how she ended up
Yeah.
in the Mushroom Kingdom, and she
Hmm.
showed up the same way that Mario did, so it must have been from the same pipe or something close to it.
Yeah, my bitrate
Watch
dropped
this,
like
it's daughter.
completely. Oof.
Never go get it. Never go to get it. Oh, who's worse, Link or Mario?
I don't.
Friend zoned.
Link. I mean,
40 years, bro. It's 40 years,
in
bro. Give it up.
I'm trying to think. There was one of them that he got. Oh, in Skyward Sword, they were definitely love interests in Skyward Sword. Because there's a lot of scenes where they were like that. So I feel like my canon is Link and that Zelda is the start of the Zelda hierarchy or family.
Yeah, maybe.
But going back,
It's like,
yeah.
it ain't nothing. Like, it ain't nothing official. I mean, yeah,
Bro.
she called me.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know,
Am I
you-
really
you-
with her? Does she really like me? Like,
You
know,
play the
that's-
game and you get a lot of hints
that's
there,
13.
like
I
that whole
have it, man. I
that
have it
whole
on the Wii.
intro.
I got it on the sitting over here. I'm just like, I seen it. I did videos on it. I'm just like, I ain't seen no.
Oh, they did, yeah.
No hand holding. I haven't seen no. I love you. I haven't seen.
They got hugs.
You know,
They got
I can't
hugs.
do.
That's more than
Man,
what Mario got.
James, you're a married man. Hugs do not equate relationship. I had
Yeah.
like a million relationships.
If
man,
you
my God.
confuse, yeah, exactly. If you confuse a hug, then no.
It wasn't a
honestly.
normal
Or
hug. It
the
wasn't
worst
a
if you
normal
confuse
hug. All right.
What tiers of hugs are we talking about? Because bro, like hugs and hug, man. Like, come on.
It wasn't a normal hug. You gotta
A dude and a girl
type,
can't
type
be
in
friends.
type
Like,
in type in Skyward Sword hugs, right? Not just kidding. I don't even know that'll pop up. But I was gonna say on a separate note about Peach and Mario, because I think secretly it's actually Bowser. Like Bowser's the man. Like you know what was a weird thing? I got
decades.
Fan, you can probably speak to it too. So we got some Nintendo stuff that swag that came out, and I grabbed one of them, and one of them is like the sticky patches,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And it has Peach, but Peach is paired with Bowser. And I was like, and it's like you have that Nintendo commercial for the family thing, and it's Bowser and Bowser Jr. playing, and Peach comes along and tells Bowser Jr. like he needs to go to sleep. It's like, like there's always that theory there that it's Bowser Jr. is actually Peach's.
I think I've said it on one of the podcasts before. Mario is the third wheel. Oh God, help me. Look, if you keep on talking, if you got a woman you're running behind, and she keep on end up at another dude's house, come on, bro. You don't want stop. Come on. All right, I'll stop. Wait, I'm sorry. Mario, you got your brother involved too. Stop.
But yeah, the winner was The Last of Us. And they were all good movies. Castlevania Nocturne is the only one I haven't finished yet. But like Gran Turismo was actually better than I thought. I really enjoyed Gran Turismo. Twisted Metal was pretty fun. It's one of those things that you kind of just turn off your brain and watch. But fun overall. Mario movie was really good, and The Last of Us was good as well. Best multiplayer: Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Baldur's Gate 3 won that. I mean, as somebody who hasn't played Baldur's Gate 3, I felt like, I don't know. I mean, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I didn't think that it would win it because I think everybody wanted online multiplayer. Even though the online is kind of cool, it's nice to see like the little ghosts and stuff like that, and you can interact with them. And like I had like a ghost show me like where there was this one stage where you had to find the hidden like boxes.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And I could not find one of them, and somebody showed me it just by going back, and he was like emoting, so I followed them, and then he jumped, and I did what he was doing, and I found the box. So it was still kind of interesting and kind of fun, but it would have been better to have just full on multiplayer. So like we could do a group stream or something like that. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 won that. Party Animals, I think, is what I chose because Party Animals is actually pretty fun.
Oh yeah. I played a couple times with a friend of mine and stuff. It's a really fun game. It's just I don't know how many people actually know about that game. That's
true. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Best sports racing game was Forza. I mean, I think we kind of.
I'm not surprised about that. Was Gran Turismo in that list too? I forgot.
No, because Gran Turismo came out I think 2 years ago, 3 years.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Best sim and strategy. This was you had Advance Wars, City Skylines, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. I think Fire Emblem Engage and Pikmin 4 would have definitely been the top two for me. Advance Wars, I'm sorry, it just didn't pull me in. I actually prefer Front Mission over Advance Wars. If you like Advance Wars, try out Front Mission first remake and Front Mission 2. I think they're better games than Advance Wars, in my opinion. Best family: Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Mario Brothers Wonder. Of course, it was Mario. Best fighting: God of Rock, which I've never heard of, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, another game I've never heard of, and Street Fighter 6. Winner was, of course, Street Fighter 6. I honestly thought that Mortal Kombat 1 was going to win this because I think it has a bigger like appeal to casual audiences, but Street Fighter 6
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which I'm glad Street Fighter 6. Okay. Best RPG: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Starfield. Of course, Baldur's Gate won that.
Yeah, that was one-sided.
Yep. Best action adventure game: you had Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom won that. Best action game: Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. I think what did we say? We said Hi-Fi Rush, I think, and
Yeah.
Armored Core won that, which I was actually surprised that Armored Core won that.
I'm not too surprised because like I've seen the gameplay in like
Yeah.
previous like installations. It's heavily action oriented, so it
But
makes sense.
I just felt that like Hi-Fi Rush made a huge buzz. Like it was everywhere and people were surprised about that. Where Armored Core just kind of came and went, right? Like I'm an
Yeah,
Armored
true.
Core fan. I enjoy it, but like Hi-Fi Rush was just interesting, you know, especially
Yeah,
from like
it was on like social media a lot
Mhm.
more. Like people were talking about it. Not a lot of people were talking about Armored Core.
Yep.
This is gonna be like a random question, but do you guys remember if they made like profit off of Hi-Fi Rush by any chance?
Yeah, they did.
They did. Okay,
They did.
that's good.
Yeah. Best VR AR, he had Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR, and then Synapse and Village won that, of course. Best mobile game, Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. Honkai won that. I was actually thinking that Hello Kitty Island Adventure would win that because it's literally just Animal Crossing but with Hello Kitty characters. It's really, really cool. It's a pretty fun game too. And it has like more adventure elements. Like you could jump and glide around and stuff like that, kind of like, you know, Tears of the Kingdom. So there's more things you can do rather than just walking. Best debut indie game. I actually thought Pizza Tower was gonna win that, but it was Cocoon. I'm gonna just go win the winner because it'll take a little bit longer. Best indie game, Sea of Stars. I was really thinking that Dave the Diver was gonna win, but I said you weren't on the stream, Geek, but I said my conspiracy is that Dave the Diver actually win, but Jeff know that they were gonna get heat if Dave the Diver won, so they gave it to Sea of Stars. Best community support, which was weird. But well, not really. Baldur's Gate 3 won that, but I mean, I thought
No,
Final
the
Fantasy
one that was
14 would win.
weird is the ongoing.
Ongoing, yeah. Ongoing was Cyberpunk 2077, which that was awkward. I thought Final Fantasy 14 or like Fortnite or even Genshin Impact would have won that. But
Which games
Thought
again?
this would be Fortnite.
Best ongoing game.
Ongoing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
salty. I'm still salty about that.
yeah, that was a weird one. Games for Impact, I don't think we voted on that, but it was Chia, I think it's pronounced. I don't think the T is you say the word or the say
I
the letter T.
I think I voted for that one game that started with a V.
Oh,
I think.
Venba.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. That one looked.
Yeah.
Look,
Venmo. Yeah.
Yeah, that one looked the most beautiful to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for that one.
Seen a homegirl play that one.
Oh,
It looked
okay.
pretty good. I didn't play it personally, but that was the one that I voted for too because it had the most. Felt like it was something that we hadn't seen before, and then
True,
and
yeah.
it was like from a point of view that we hadn't seen before too.
Yeah.
At least it felt that way for me.
Innovation accessibility was Forza. Best performance. So I wanted Yuri Lowenthal to win because like he's an OG voice actor, and I don't think he's won any awards for voice acting in the Game Awards. But I really want him to win that because out of everybody that's on this list and a lot of people that win these awards, he's one of the oldest. And I don't know, I just always liked him. Like a lot of every character that he's voiced, I've always liked. And he's done a great job voicing them. But it was Neil Newbon, who was I guess one of the characters from Baldur's Gate 3. He's on like the cover of the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
I know Bryant wanted Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16 who did what's his name?
Clive Rossfield.
Clive, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I kept
That's
calling
who I
him
voted for.
Claude last time because I was confusing him with with I forgot his name now. With
Me too.
whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyways, yeah, you know, and he does a good job as Clive too. Like it's pretty cool. Like he does a really good job. He's a meme now because he had like they showed his face and like the light was on him, and I remember seeing that. I was like, man, what the heck? Like that light is on your face. Like
I'm just glad Idris Elba didn't win that one because
yeah, I think a lot of people would have been
dude was
upset.
even there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but it showed all like the footage of like actors sitting there except for Idris
him,
Elba because he
yeah.
wasn't there. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
And probably scheduling conflicts. Isn't he in like doing a movie or something?
probably.
Probably.
Best audio design, Hi-Fi Rush, which was good. You know, I would have been upset if somebody else won that. Best score in music. Wait, best audio design. Didn't Alan Wake 2 win that?
No.
It was
No,
Hi-Fi
I-
Art
Rush?
direction.
Thought they did.
Oh,
Hi-Fi
art
Rush audio
direction.
design.
Okay.
Art direction was Alan Wake.
Okay.
Yeah, art direction.
And best
which
narrative
that
was
didn't make
Alan
any
Wake.
sense.
And best
Yeah.
game direction was Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those also didn't make any sense either.
Yeah. Best score in music was Final Fantasy 16. So props to Soken. Yeah. Best art direction was Alan Wake. Yeah, that one I was like, what? Like that should have been Hi-Fi Rush because I think the art in that was amazing and beautiful. Or even Mario Brothers Wonder. Or even Tears of the Kingdom. But like,
yeah,
I think
those three deserved it. I don't
Yeah.
know about Alan Wake 2. That right there didn't make any sense to me
mean,
whatsoever.
Because what art direction did that take? It? They basically just made the first game, but look better.
Yeah,
it,
pretty much. Is there something art related for hyper realism or something like that?
I mean, according to their description, is for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
Okay, so how can you give that to a game that's running on high end hardware to give you that fidelity?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Technical-
plus,
What?
And plus, Mario Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom also achieved that as well.
Yeah.
And they don't need to be hyper realistic
Yeah,
to do
they
that.
did that on limited hardware.
Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush for me, like why I thought that would be a good choice because it reminded you of like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And it
That's
had
true.
like that look of it, which was kind of nice. And it's something that we haven't really seen, I would say, in a game. Where Alan Wake 2, people call it, what were they calling it? Like a bootleg, like Resident Evil or something like that. Like a lot of people were calling it that.
Unfortunately, it is because
Yeah.
like I'm telling you right now, I seen a lot of gameplay. The UI is literally copy and paste from Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It is. If you look at the first Alan Wake, it's relatively way more different compared to Resident Evil. But I guess going on to the sequel or the game after American Nightmares or something like that, which I think that got delisted a long time ago. They want to take a different approach with it, which I'm like, Resident Evil was looking pretty good so far. Let's just get some ideas, get some inspirations, and that's pretty much it. And I do have to give the game some credit. Game looks freaking beautiful as hell if you play on a PC, and on top of that, their story direction is pretty well done as well. Because I did watch somebody play through half of it, and some of the stuff that was coming up, I didn't even like see that. Wasn't even able to predict that stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's impressive. So yeah, I will give it some credit, but I feel like it will definitely fall short in other categories, and definitely art direction is not one of those.
Yeah.
So
Best narrative, Alan Wake 2 won that.
Which is fine. I mean, it's storytelling on that one, which I get. That one's fine.
Best game direction was also Alan Wake 2, and this is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. What was innovative about that? Like I haven't played Alan Wake 2, so was there anything?
The whole premise of Alan Wake is flashing your light onto something and you unlock something. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
If you play the first game, you already know what to do in the second game. So
okay.
Yeah, they do have some puzzles in there that could be a bit confusing, but you'll get it within like maybe 5 minutes tops.
Yeah,
it's not.
That's why Tears of the Kingdom should have won, just because like people were being so creative with the mechanics of the game.
Yeah,
like,
people in there are Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
That's another thing that I agree. Like Tears of the Kingdom should have won because according to their description themselves, in innovation in game direction and design, Tears of the Kingdom was, it's not Breath of the Wild like, 1.5. It is Breath of the Wild 2 in terms of it adds to where Breath of the Wild started. Right, it's not a half step; it's a full step. Just the building mechanics allow you to maneuver a lot better overall. Having that underground was really fun, and just the building overall and the what is it called, the Ultra Hand, like all the moves that you had there was kind of cool. I did enjoy that. What do you think, Geek? I see you making faces. Like
see my face. You already know my face with that, because y'all gonna jump me again because everybody jumps me. I still feel like it was just a DLC. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion.
No,
you really think it's DLC?
I've been playing Zelda. I feel like it's DLC, and I think that's why I didn't win Game Award, is because it didn't feel it was innovative when it came to that. But I think they looked at it in a whole, and they also looked at it in a whole of how many, like the longevity of the hype of it as well. And for me, I still got to go back and play.
Alan Wake 2 could have been DLC. It was a retelling of the first game.
I didn't. I didn't play that, so that's why you see I didn't say nothing about Alan
No,
Wake
but like Alan
laugh.
Wake 2 is basically the same thing. Like it's basically
Yeah.
retelling the first game, except just from a different perspective.
And that one didn't win Game of the Year either.
No, but it
Um,
won best
but-
art direction or best game direction is what I mean. Like that just makes no sense.
But
Yeah.
I couldn't have seen Tears of the Kingdom winning best narrative or game direction personally,
Yeah.
because it felt like you're just seeing the same. That I think me and James had talked about this before when he was talking about Octopath. And for me, it was kind of like on that same line. Like it was stuff that changed, but it was pretty much the same thing.
Mhm.
Music was good. Tears of the Kingdom was an amazing game. I seen so many millions of people playing it. I played it. I streamed it. I enjoyed what I did, but it wasn't anything so innovative for me that I like. It didn't take the leap for me like Breath of the Wild did from the previous generation of Zeldas. And I think that's what it felt like. I was still stuck in
I
that
see.
world,
Yeah.
but they just added on to it, just like you said, like a 1.5. And it's kind of like, remember when we were seeing with 64, and then they were showing off what they were gonna do for GameCube next generation Zelda. That's what I was feeling for. Like I wanted to see, and what Zelda, and they're not gonna happen ever. So it's a me thing, like I said. I want to see more than just gameplay.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to go a fetching quest. I want to see more from the characters that I'm spending 100 hours in. If I want to build, I can play Minecraft, which I don't, but I could, or I play RPG Maker. Just speaking for me again. So I feel that that's why they kind of did that when it came to Game of the Year, is because they didn't even talk about Zelda as much. The time, I'm gonna say mid-August, around August, it wasn't even that much mention of Tears of the Kingdom anymore.
Mhm.
People who were still playing were playing it, but it was so many other games and things out. And when Baldur's Gate dropped, that was like, that's it. Like people who never even played it,
Yeah.
played it. And a lot of people who have played Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, they didn't play Tears of the Kingdom like that, or they stopped. It's kind of, it's felt, and it's me.
I mean, there's
Like,
there's
oh,
a
okay.
little bit of recency bias, a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
that does play into it.
Yeah, I would. I agree with. I know what you're getting at in terms of feel, and I agree. Like, I did not feel the same way I felt with Breath of the Wild with Tears of the Kingdom, but it's because of that. You are in the same Hyrule, but I still very much enjoyed it, and it is a better game than Tears of the Kingdom because of all the extra mechanics they added. But yeah, and I also agree with the recency bias, and I would like to say that like there were so many good games that came out that's why Tears of the Kingdom didn't have that shine, because then in June people were talking about Final Fantasy 16, and then it was a big like split on that. But then you had Baldur's Gate that came out in August and September, and then when Spider-Man came out and Super Mario Brothers Wonder came out, nobody was talking about Baldur's Gate anymore. And it's
Let me say
like,
this with Spider-Man 2, it was the same thing too. That's
Yeah.
how I feel with Spider-Man 2. A lot of people are pissed about Spider-Man 2,
yeah,
but like, it isn't. Where's the leap? See, this is what's happening with gaming a little
Yeah.
bit. And I'm an old man gamer. We're so caught up in the graphical aspect. I give Tears of the Kingdom that. Like, it did have the gameplay element, but it was kind of like the same gameplay element with a added benefit. It was like,
Yeah.
it's Zelda on steroids, because we've already done, you know, the mechanics with things, but it was
Yeah.
like an extra thing on it. Spider-Man 2 was just, okay, now we can play with Miles. You know, it's still a comic book story, or in that comic book story realm, it wasn't a whole new thing. It was like, okay, we're web slinging, we got these suits and these outfits we're doing, but I'm jumping ahead. So go ahead, I'm sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. You're
I
good.
jumped way on it.
No, you're
and you haven't even got to the Game of the Year yet.
No, so yeah, that was best game direction. Alan Wake 2. And here we are. We're on Game of the Year, so you could have continued because that's actually the next thing there. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year against Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. I was one of those that felt that Resident Evil 4 shouldn't have been in Game of the Year just because it is a remake. Even though it's not a one-to-one remake, it could be on its own like a different game. Well, not really, because it's still telling the story of Resident Evil 4. I just felt like it shouldn't have been there. It's a remake, right?
What other game would you put in its place?
Final Fantasy 16. Even though I'm not a fan of it, I would have put 16 in its place. Hey, put Star Ocean the second story. I mean, I know nobody would put that. Like Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars could have been on there.
That would
Pikmin
have been cool if
4.
it would have won it.
Yeah. that would have been great if an indie game won all of the game of the year.
Diver.
David
Diver for game of the year. That'd be actually. I mean, that I don't think that would have like spawned any controversy because like the main problem with David Diver for the best indie game because it wasn't an indie game. So yeah, that was the main issue with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, yeah, in Baldur's Gate 3, I felt that it was gonna win because out of everything here, even though Baldur's Gate 3 is a 3, it's still something that's like fresh, right? Baldur's Gate 2 was years ago. So it made sense that it was gonna win. Where, we had Breath of the Wild, 6 years ago, right? 7 years ago. Mario Brothers,
It
like
didn't help that it was in the same area too. Like it wasn't like in a new area. We had new vantage points.
Yeah,
but it wasn't in a whole
new world.
It wasn't a new game. It was the same. It was it was a new game, but it technically wasn't a new game.
Yeah, it wasn't like Majora's Mask. Even though they did the same engine, Majora's Mask was in a different area altogether. Yeah, and
look at the mechanics compared to Majora's Mask, compared to what you were doing in. The princess, save the princess trope, and we're never gonna. Just give me even just a little bit more. That's all, and I think that's why it kind of just. We're gonna buy it, like I said, with the $100 games. If you can't say nothing. Saying something about Zelda is like saying something about Beyonce, LeBron James. They come for you. You can't have an opinion about it. I swear. What you say about Zelda?
Yeah, when they showed the Zelda trailer, Tears of the Kingdom trailer, I was actually thinking they're gonna do something similar to with Spider-Man 2. You know how you can split your roles, where one played Miles, and then at some point in the story you would play Peter.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. At some point, with the trope of Zelda being the damsel in distress, you were at some point going to be able to play Zelda.
Yeah.
In the game.
I don't.
Just because like in Age of Calamity, they introduced her as a playable character and you could play her. So that's.
So I don't think they would do that in a mainline game, mainly because Onuma and Miyamoto said it, like the whole point of Link and why he's silenced because you're supposed to experience the story through his eyes, and that's why you're with him 24/7, and that's why they have the memories for you to kind of see what's there, but for the most part you don't leave. That's why they never really showed cutscenes of like Link leaving. I know Twilight Princess did it a couple times, but for the most part they never try to show you leaving Link's point of view. And that was something that Anuma talked about many times. So I don't see that happening.
They're gonna have to change it just because Princess Peach is getting her own game where she's like fighting in action and stuff like that. They're getting away from that damsel in distress trope.
Yeah,
like that's
See, that's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. Yeah, it's just that's all I was making.
Well, I agree with that. I mean,
just a couple little quirks to the story that can we play with Zelda in the castle and solve puzzles? She's the freaking wisdom, but she keeps getting caught. So at least can we do some kind of puzzles for an hour with Princess Zelda?
Yeah,
because eventually, like I've been playing Zelda since '87. So I mean,
what was it? On Wind Waker, where you have the
was it something new, something fresh, something to. And I'm not just talking about the gameplay or the aesthetics, because it's 2023. We're always gonna get better graphics, but something that has a different element to it, the pre-existing game that gives it like how you just said it, James, with from Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask. They're in the same like world, but those are two completely different games. Like, and a lot of people who play Ocarina of Time some of them don't play Majora's Mask. I've heard people say, "Oh, it's too hard for me," but it's a whole together different game. And that's all I was saying. Like when I play Tears of the Kingdom, I'm like, okay, so he's caught again.
Yeah, I wasn't actually
going to save her, and I didn't feel like I cared enough. Go through another temples. Like I have an OCD with games. I didn't feel like doing another 100 hours like I did with 120 hours in Breath of the Wild, and then it's the same thing. And it took her.
So I mean, well, remember, Tears of the Kingdom, she wasn't caught. She fell down and then she got teleported to the past, right? And then the whole thing was she had to. Well, I don't want to spoil it actually, because it is a spoiler of what actually happens, right? But like to find out like what she was, let me not talk about it because it's spoilers. And if anybody hears it,
spoiler.
I
didn't play the game yet, so
I was like, let me not talk about it because I'll get.
I might forget about it, but I don't know about anybody else.
The start of the game still is you're trying to save Zelda. Like the first mission is find Zelda.
That's all I'm saying.
The first mission is it's not find Zelda in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it was one of the first things when you get into Hyrule. They're like, you need to
Yeah, it says
find Zelda.
to look for
It
Zelda.
was one of the main story quests.
So you're looking for her, but you're not saving her technically.
That's same thing.
You're not.
Same
And like I
difference.
said, I won't go
bro.
through.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say it's the same thing because again, I don't want to spoil it and talk about that.
Wait, we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, right?
Tears of the Kingdom, yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that happens at the end and revelations that you find, especially depending on the order you do certain things. You can find it. It might impact you more.
Way out of order.
Question? Can I ask you a question? If it wasn't Zelda and another game did that to a plot, would it be passable? Would it be okay? Because if another game made you wait, you got to a certain area in the game to unfold the story in that manner. You feel the same way because say Zelda has the prestige of being Zelda.
Yeah.
Like again, it's gonna once it drops, it's automatically like we just thought before Baldur's Gate. Oh, Zelda's gonna be Game of the Year until Baldur's Gate did what Baldur's Gate did. Because you could feel the ebbs and flow. Once Baldur's Gate started, you're like, oh shit, people playing Baldur's Gate a lot. Oh, that's all you look on Twitch, you look on YouTube, everybody's talking about it. That's what I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be Baldur's Gate. But if it was just some random game Magic Quest, I know Magic Quest was a Final Fantasy a long time ago, or Mystic Quest it was, but just some Magic Sword game, and then you just had gameplay, you had to wait all the way to you go way down into the depths of something to get the story. I really feel we're going to talk crap about it. It's not going to be, oh, it's okay. It's because it's cool. We'll get to the story later. That's just my thing. It's like give me some content, something.
Well,
else.
no,
I did my playthrough was out of order.
Yeah.
My whole playthrough was out
like
of order.
my thing, like what I liked about like Zelda is like the memories. I think it's a cool concept because it tells you like what's happening and so forth. Like I like that type of stuff because it's like you go through and you see what's going on. Like even if it wasn't Zelda, I would like that. It's like in Lost Odyssey, perfect example. I love the memories of that.
What Octopath Traveler. That's why you like Octopath Traveler. See, we're talking about with the separate 8 stories that don't really connect.
Well, I don't like the doesn't connect thing.
I'm still upset about that.
I don't like the not connecting thing. That doesn't
give me a central story. If I'm 41 years old, I'm playing a game. I'm playing your game. You got to give me something. You got to give me some kind of morsel to continue to want to play the game. Bad enough my G don't talk, so I can't personally relate. I'm a talker, so I can't personally relate to somebody that's mute, and then he's getting half hugs. Maybe do you like me or don't you like me? Because I'm going out of my way on this adventure for you, and I'm not your boo. What's up? That's how I feel about it. So give me some kind of, can I get a waifu? Can I get something that's going to give me some incentives to keep going? Maybe I can talk to this character and then, or Final Fantasy 16, which could have been one of the best Final Fantasies if it would have actually had a party feature. The emotional connection you have when you have a party member inside, or you could switch the party member, or when you have someone to bounce something off of, it adds that extra layer of depth to games, and we're starting to lose that with the higher we get into graphics. Like the more, we just care how it looks. Let's not, let's just forget about all the small aesthetics in the games. How does it look? Oh, well, it's a 10 out of 10 in graphics. It's got multiplayer. Look at what they were talking about Call of Duty, a 2-hour campaign. 2K used to have a MyGMO with a story. Now it's the same BS that it's been since 2015. Sorry.
No, you're good. Like I said, I agree with some of the stuff you're saying, like especially like with the party member thing. 100% agree. Like a lot of when you couldn't play as Red 13 at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's like why is he here to begin with then? If I can't play as him, like he was his own thing, which was kind of weird overall. But it's like it's not like you couldn't do it because he's there. He's doing his moves. He's in your party fighting. You just can't control him like you could with Barrett, Aerith, everything. Yeah, and then later on you add a DLC that allows you to play as Yuffie, another character, but you couldn't add and integrate to play as Red 13. But yeah, like you said, that's something different. I do agree with that. I guess just like my way of like stories told, like I don't mind the straightforward, but I also like the mystery of like finding bits and pieces. And that's why I kind of like Nier a lot. Like Nier has like a very convoluted story, but it's also very interesting. And I like that.
That's kind of different though. That's kind of different though, because they do have a main thing, but you get a chance to see it,
Yeah.
and then you do get a chance to change different characters. So if you didn't get a chance to play as those other characters,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say too much with Nier, because Nier is definitely one of them. You can't say anything about Nier,
Yeah.
but if you find the different playthroughs, that's go on my point. It gives you a different feel for that character, because you're able to see, oh, that's how that person's perspective was. But
Yeah.
it's still a story that was there, and everybody was like, okay, like Live a Live. Live a Live is a perfect example for that, of taking 8 or 9 different stories, but it actually has a story that connects everything to it. And then they even have other characters that you could play with them, at least, have them do their move sets, where they're not just guest characters. I don't know what's up with this guest character stuff, or what's going on with that, or just
blame Final Fantasy 12. At least that's the first game that I could think of that had guest characters. Well, I guess Final Fantasy 9 had.
Well, at least with 12, you can actually play with Ash. You could switch the
Yeah.
characters up.
Well, I
though,
mean,
in
like,
12.
but in the original 12, you had that guest character, so you would get like a fourth character that would follow you around, and then they would leave after a certain
Well, that's cool.
I forgot what
They've
that.
been doing that. You had
Yeah.
characters follow you around in Lufia in 1993.
Yeah.
You get a character that follows you from one town to the other. But I mean, when it comes to you got a chance to switch to Bosch. You got a chance to switch to Balthier. You got a chance to take a whole person out of the party. But you got a chance to see, oh, well, guess what? Bosch is stronger than Balthier, or friend, she's not good at this kind of magic.
Yeah.
But if you're just sitting there watching Sid and Jill fight, and you're like, damn, she ain't died yet.
She's got infinite health.
We don't, it's like you're just there. You're just nothing. You're nothing. And a lot of games do this thing a lot now. And I'm not going to say any specific game, but a lot of games will do this, where they won't let you control the character, and then you'll know who's like. And if you played enough games, you're like, oh, okay, well, that character's not going to be around too much. There, somebody's about to die, because they've not wasted any time for me to be able to get a chance to play as that character and give me some. That's why everybody was hurt when Aerith died, because you put all of your materia and all of your effort into her, and then she's gone.
And you don't even keep that stuff. And that hurt even more, because you didn't keep none of that. So all the material that really she had, it's like, oh man,
if she was a guest character, would it have the same gravitas?
No, it wouldn't, because she just died. She just dies. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. It's also with Lavitz in Legend of Dragoon. I mean, you do get a replacement with what's his name, Albert, right? Albert or something like that. You get his replacement, but still that hurts you, because you're with him for a big chunk of the story. But yeah, let's go back to the topic, the Game Awards, right? So they also did like announcements, a lot of announcements, and I think this is where they kind of shined on, because there was actually a lot of pretty good announcements. Starting off with what they ended with, which was Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not sure if Geek, are you a Monster Hunter fan or no? No,
because I never have anybody to play with, and then the time I do play, everybody's on a level 100.
So
every time.
Monster Hunter Wilds is the successor to Monster Hunter World. It's supposed to be basically similar concept. Now you have a chocobo, or it's not a chocobo, it's some chocobo looking thing that allows you to fly. It's a chocobo. But anyways, you have that, which is pretty cool. I mean, we didn't really see gameplay. I mean, we saw some gameplay of them running around, and that's about it. So
yeah,
I'm interested in it.
It wasn't too engaging, to be honest. I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to flex like the processing power in SSD by going through like the different weather and stuff. I'm just like,
that was pretty cool. The dynamic weather was actually pretty interesting, because they did show that where they're running away from the monster. They weren't fighting them, but they were running away from the monster, and the weather had changed to like this like tornado, like desert storm type deal, which is pretty cool. I mean, I
just need to see more for me to. And the thing is, I still haven't like fully dived into a Monster Hunter game yet, even though I did try a couple of times with friends that tried to get me into it. But the other flex they kind of did as well is that when they were showing like a whole bunch of monsters, whole bunch of on screen at the same time without no frame drops, I thought that was impressive myself. And I just hope they'll talk more about the gameplay aspects of it once summer comes around, which I think that's when they said they're gonna talk more about it. Summer
Yeah, next
2024, I
summer.
think.
Yep, because
So
it's a
yeah,
2025 game. Yep. So
yeah.
technically, I wouldn't say 2 years, but at least a year and a half. It could be 2 years away, but probably about a year and a half away
Yeah,
from
they'll
now.
probably release it during summer 2025, I
Mhm.
think. So,
Ko- Kojima showed off OD, which is what like Xbox is funding, and I don't know what the game's about.
well, it's Kojima, that's why.
Yeah.
Like, especially when he released his teaser trailers for like Death Stranding, nobody could able to decipher on what
What
they
it
were
was
trying to
about.
tell.
Yeah.
It was so like to me, seeing that whole process unfold was kind of funny to me because Kojima just likes to F with people most of the time. So I'm like, okay. But I do have to say, though, I think the most surprising thing is seeing Jordan Peele collaborating with Kojima because like that was like he was one of the least suspected guests to see when collaborating with Kojima in that front. So it's exciting to see him to do something with him, and hopefully the game comes out well. But I feel like that whole thing, the amount of minutes they took over during the Game Awards, I think that should have like been it's like its own YouTube video off the Xbox channel. That would have been a good.
Was it like 10 minutes total? I think they did.
Yeah, 10 minutes total. They could have made like a full-fledged video on it and put it on the Xbox channel, since I'm pretty sure their game is exclusive to Xbox, right?
No, so they haven't confirmed that. Microsoft is funding it. I
It's
would
funding it,
assume
yeah.
it's going to be Xbox exclusive and probably PC, and then maybe because Death Stranding is not on Xbox, so probably Xbox and PC. I mean, maybe PlayStation down the road, but maybe not. I mean, it's
If
kinda hard to tell.
anything, I mean, at some point, I mean, I think Xbox should really just like hold on to that game and like just keep it to themselves,
I would
since they
too.
have another exclusive on the
need
line and
exclusives.
stuff. So like I said, since Microsoft is mainly funding the game, I'm like going to be assuming that they're trying to make this exclusive, and from that point, they could have just put the video on the Xbox YouTube channel and stuff, so that way people know. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's coming to Xbox. Oh, because I see the Xbox channel on, and like. Perfect. Now people got something to look forward to, because not only you get a Kojima game that's coming to the Xbox, you're also appealing to the casual audience because you got Jordan Peele involved in it. Like, so I feel like that. I feel like that was a really good combination. I just wish they could just at least cut it down to like 2 to 3 minutes, like they did for every other developer on their freaking stage, man.
We're gonna get to that in a second. Free God of War Ragnarok DLC, which looks like it's like a roguelite, which seems pretty cool, I guess. I still haven't played Ragnarok. Eventually I'll get to it one day. If RPGs stop coming out. Marvel's Blade is in development by Arcane Studios. No gameplay, so I'm not excited. It's kind of cool that it's a Blade game. I think Blade would be a fun game, fun probably like action game. But it's Arcane Studios, who did a vampire game already. We all know how that turned out. So yeah,
I don't know how that turned out. I forgot.
Redfall.
So. Oh, never mind. But
yeah.
But if anything, I do have like sort of a hot take about that. So, and I know for a fact Wesley Snipes is not going to play as Blade in that game.
Of course not. He's not.
But
even
I do want him to play as Blade in that game, because I just love Wesley Snipes' performance. But yeah, that in and of itself is a hot take, because I'm pretty sure you guys already seen like the news coming out about him, how he's pretty much an asshole on set and stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
treat
been like
anybody.
that though since forever. Like that's
since
been
forever.
Yeah, that's been him since
that's
back in the day.
Blade 1.
Yeah, that's always been him.
Since he said that fateful comment in, what was it, in Essence magazine? I want to say in 1994, around that time. In Hot Water.
That's just his character. Yeah, that's just his character, how he is.
Yeah, and some people don't like it, which is why I called it a somewhat of a hot take. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Maybe they can bring the guy that's doing the new Blade,
Mahershala Ali. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
who it's gonna be.
Yeah. He's the new Blade in the new movie that are coming out. Which he's also like big props to him, because he was turning down that Blade movie because he said it was gonna be trash, and then now it looks like they might have convinced him with a new script. But yeah, he was up for it, and then they show him the script, and he's like, "Yeah, this is trash. I'm not gonna do this movie." And they fixed it to keep him in it.
Wow.
Hey,
okay, nice.
What's up, Pixel? Says Redfall should have one game of the year, hands down. Did that even come out this year? Was Redfall this year?
I think
I
it
think
came
it
out
was-
this year, but
Oh.
when it came out, everyone trashed it. So yeah.
Okay. It was bad.
Yeah.
Me and Fan tried to do a group stream.
Wait, y'all bought it? Oh, it was on Game
Game
Pass.
It was
Pass,
on Game
yeah.
Pass.
That's
And
what. Okay.
when
all
I
right, that's what
booted
thought.
it
Okay.
up, you boot up the game, and for whatever reason, it stretched to both of my monitors. And then when I try to change the settings, it would like go back to normal. Then you go to the new menu, it goes back to both of my monitors, and it was stretched so big that I couldn't see what I
Actually,
was touching. So
Now I remember the Redfall did come out this year because this was a topic that we had in the podcast, like I don't know how long ago, but it was because the game Redfall was in the topic that we were talking about because it was
Yeah.
when Phil Spencer was being interviewed by that one
Yeah.
podcast and stuff, and there he was saying that
that's
like
right. We did do
yeah,
that.
and he
Yep.
mentioned Redfall and all and everything. So yeah, Redfall did come out this year. I know that, and I feel bad.
You got a
I feel
better
bad.
memory than me. Like once the next week comes in, I'm constantly asking, did I talk about that on the podcast? Like I've asked fans so
Yeah.
many times, did we talk about this on the podcast?
We did, but I don't think it wasn't that much though. I think what happened is what we did talk about Phil Spencer and how his attitude was during that interview and how he talked about Redfall. And then
Yeah.
after we finished that, we were all just hoping for Starfield to do good enough
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, I can recall some bits and pieces from that podcast, if anything. So
Obviously, Starfield did not do good enough.
Good enough. Nope.
unfortunately.
My highlight for the Game Awards was this. Sega announces 5 new
Oh,
games in
yes.
development,
Oh my
which
god.
I couldn't tell if they were remakes or is there new entries altogether. Like we
They
don't
look
know.
like remakes to me.
They look like
like
remakes, right? But
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But they showed Jet Set Radio, Shinobi,
Mhm,
Golden Axe,
mhm.
Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi,
That
and-
got me jumping.
and after they announced Skies of Arcadia. No, I'm
You're
just
lying.
kidding. Just kidding. No.
I love your jokes.
But I
Jack.
didn't hear nothing about no skies.
But they did say and
more. They said and more. So
possibilities. Right now, Sega's
That
just
could be
playing with the waters right
anything.
now. Yeah, Sega's just playing the waters right now.
To Sega, the Sonic collection.
Sonic.
Yo,
Yeah,
straight
Sonic-
up,
Sonic
straight up,
games.
somebody said, "Listen, Billy Hatcher, let's make it
Yeah.
happen." I'm like, "Yes, let's make it happen." I'm like, "Let's go."
Or
man.
Kid Chameleon was actually a really good game too.
What if they
Oh, yeah, that's
bring
it.
back Knights?
Oh, Jam and Earl.
Knights.
I-
Actually, I
yeah.
think Nice will be a really good.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, that'll be better than
Was-
the next one they should do.
Or
Was that
Echo the
comic?
Dolphin?
Was that Comic Book Zone? Was that a Sega made game?
That's a
Or-
Sega game. Yeah. That
Okay.
was a Sega game.
Yep.
Well, no, it was a
Sega
Sega
has
game,
a
but
lot
then
of
did Sega
first-party
make that
games.
game or?
I don't know.
I mean, it was only on the Genesis.
Because
from
can
my
you
understanding.
imagine like Comic Book Zone with today's graphics, like how beautiful that would look if you get the right developers, of course.
Oh yeah,
Like,
of course, yeah.
Like that would look amazing in that art style because that was very interesting in itself. That you're fighting in a comic book and it flips through pages and everything. Like that was, at that time that was unheard of. It's very stylistic at that time. But yeah, like that was my highlight. Like seeing all those games, like Streets of Rage. I'm a huge Streets of Rage fan, and seeing that was like that got me hyped. Like it's nice to have a 3D brawler, like something that's not just 2D, and that would be a fun game stream or group stream to do. But yeah, the and more's got me more excited because maybe they'll tap into Skies of Arcadia. Like who knows? We just gotta keep talking about Skies of Arcadia and
Right-
tagging
right-
Sega.
Right now, Sega's doing a good job on listening to
Only
the
been
fans.
23 years.
Something that
Yeah.
other companies should take note of. But right
Yeah.
now, yeah, Sega's like they're literally learning from their mistakes like years ago, and they're right now it's coming into fruition, which I'm really happy about. Right, so
Yeah.
but yeah,
That was my highlight. Like Geek, were you excited about that?
Yes. No. I in short, I enjoyed the Game Awards. I actually enjoyed the Game Awards since the last 2 years, or the last couple years that it had it. Like I said, I would like to see more Sydney and less Jeff, just like a nice balance, to be honest. Also, I think if they ever did Xena Warrior Princess again, that Sydney should apply for the role. She gives me very Lucy Lawless vibes. It's just completely side note for those y'all that remember, Xena Warrior
Oh
Princess.
yeah,
That was my show.
that was my wife's favorite show, and I love it. We actually we got
And then you get the
What was that?
crossover
Where's
with her
it?
and Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah,
in
with Hercules. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a fun
I mean,
crossover.
Kelly,
The first
that was my
MCU,
show.
right? Like because
Well,
you had
they had other crossovers too. There was another guy. It was called Jack of All Trades,
mm-hmm.
and he was like a minor character in both of those shows, where he was just like a petty
Oh, I
thief.
remember him. Was he the one with the dagger?
Yeah,
They used to have like a dagger behind his
he,
back.
he,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was basically the
Oh.
comic relief, but he had his own
Yeah.
separate show, and he would like.
I didn't
come
know
and
he had
take-
his own separate show. I remember
Yeah.
seeing him with Xena, and also he was
He
in
had like a
couple
again, he had like a
Hercules
weird
stuff.
like little hat, and he was
Yeah.
like again he was like a scaredy cat weakling comic
Those
relief.
were cool. Those were I used to love Hercules. Like I would even pretend that I was Hercules. I would put like little
Of course you did.
like stuff over there. I'm like, yeah, you know, I could
Yeah,
punch
who
through that.
Who
Yeah,
has-
you know, but I love that. And Xena I would watch a lot too because she had the chakra that she would just throw around and like, yeah.
Ryan
what-
Gosling was Hercules too, man.
was he?
Yeah, he.
Oh,
played
there was
young
like a
Hercules.
young Hercules. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you had the finals, which was announced, or not announced, but like it came out that day. No Man's Sky developer Hello Games, they showed off, was it Light No Fire, which looked pretty cool. It's like it's supposed to be like an Earth sim or like a world sim of like evolving, so you don't leave the planet, but the whole world evolves as you go through it, which is kind of interesting.
I think they mentioned that it's going to be like procedurally generated like constantly. They're just like
Yeah.
in No Man's Sky, which the thing is that okay, that's cool and all, but
Can they deliver?
let's not repeat the events with No Man's Sky when that first launched.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm saying, just cook, keep
Yeah.
cooking until it's ready. Don't give that crap to me raw, please.
let
I would like
simmer.
Yeah, I would like to
No.
think that they learned their lesson. Like,
I think they did, and I hopefully that's being shown in that game.
Mhm.
Like that's all I'm saying. Just take your time with it, just like with any other game. Like just like with GTA 6, just
Yeah.
take your time with it. If it comes to 2025, that's whatever. If you push it back to 2026, that's also fine too. Just wait for it. Okay, so that's what I'm
Fine.
saying.
Final Fantasy 16 DLC also got announced. Echoes of the Fallen and the Rising Tide, which I started streaming Final Fantasy 16 again to try to force myself to finish it to see if I could, like it somewhat. The Rising Tide has me interested because again, I like that lore that's in the background. And do you guys care about spoilers at all or no? You guys
No, don't tell me yet. So I
Okay.
haven't fully finished it yet. So
They
Okay,
kind
so
of already spoiled it themselves, didn't they?
I mean,
kind
I-
of.
Like
they only spoil.
Didn't we see a main character in the
Yeah.
DLC? I'm not gonna say anything. When we
Well,
said, but
already
we
did.
seen Joshua
already seen some
and
main characters.
already
Yeah.
seen Joshua and Clyde meet up eventually. I
Yeah.
know that, but that's all I know.
So,
That was a
Yeah.
huge spoiler there. I was surprised they showed that. I was like,
yeah.
dude, like you
So then I
showed.
was like, wow. I had a homie that was in the chat when I was streaming it, and
Mhm.
he's like, "So, well, bro, I told you got to play some of these games. You gotta play."
I,
That way
Yeah.
I didn't
the
wait
thing
no
is,
time.
once you start playing the 16, this if you already know for a fact that he's going to see Joshua again. So I'm like, it's
Yeah,
not.
well,
That's not
You don't-
surprising.
Yeah.
But I think that way too, Ash. But unfortunately, I can't fathom sometimes that people play games. You'll know the dude is the freaking Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the whole premise
Like,
of a
how
phoenix?
what does a phoenix
Yeah, that's
mean?
the whole thing.
Rebirth.
He's a Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's a phoenix, but he's not a phoenix down. No, I'm just kidding.
He's the Phoenix, bro.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. He's joking. Yeah, it's just like I'm not because
I've seen people think that would cry. I've seen people cry when that first opening scene comes in. Maybe
Yeah.
I've just played so much. Because I'm kind of numb to it. I'm just like, okay. You gotta trick me. You gotta something. That's what I want. I want that stimulation, something to trick me into, or when you're watching a movie and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and it's like with the spoiler on Sixth Sense to happen. Like, oh shoot, I didn't see that. Or if you watched a Fight Club, like, oh wow, oh that happened. I didn't.
Yeah.
And then, but when you're telling me what's gonna happen in the story, like, is it really a spoiler?
Yeah. No.
So the thing is, right, is that
It's hard, actually.
I can already know what's happening. It's more like how did it get to that point? I've already seen so many like cliches and stuff being done with across different medias. It's more
Mhm.
like okay, how did they get from point A to point B? Is it just lazy
I
copy
agree.
and paste, or they innovated in a writing sense for them to get to that same point? Because if we're being honest here, there's technically no original works being released like for a good while and stuff.
I agree with that, because
yeah,
Dragon Quest is a perfect example that like the trope is the hero. There's only one Dragon Quest game that doesn't follow that trope.
Is it 5?
Yeah, it's 5. But you gotta really play it to understand it. But like everything else is just, the hero saves the world. The hero saves the world, and it's like, but like Dragon Quest 11, the experience, the in between from start to end was kind of what gets you hooked of how the story unfolds. So I agree with that. There's but you also do get those like the nears of the world where you're like, oh wow, like I didn't expect this to happen, or like the Arifs or the you do every now and then. You'll still get games like that, but yeah, it doesn't bother me so much. Like when a game does something original and new, it's amazing. When a game does something that's a trope, which a lot of Japanese games have, like tropes, like RPGs in general, that's just how they are. It's just the journey, right? It's the journey in between that.
Well,
that
every
matters.
story's been told itself. It's like Ash said, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Every story is good. And if you play an RPG, it's the end of the world and you got to save it. That's pretty much every RPG.
Japanese JRPG is more like delivering a sandwich and last quest, fight God. It depends how you get there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy 16. 2 DLCs coming out. First one's already available, and then the Rising Tide will come out in 2024. Rise of the Ronin gets a March 2024 release date with March 22nd. I will pick it up because I'm just a sucker for anything samurai.
So good. Yeah,
I love anything samurai related. I love Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games. I will get this.
Hopefully need to play that.
Which Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah,
you should play it.
It's just sitting in my drawer.
That's a game. That's a game you play in Japanese again, because there are Japanese-looking people. You play it in Japanese.
Oh yeah, I did that for Sekiro. I did that
just to give you some context on this, geek.
Yeah.
I play a lot of the games in the like developers like main voice. So like Final Fantasy VII, Japanese developer. I played it in Japanese with Japanese voice with subtitles. Well, if it's an option, I'll do it. So that's the context behind.
Do you play Ubisoft games in French?
I'm just there.
Listen, I'm just saying, I'm not listening to my boy Barrett in Japanese. That's all I'm saying. He's already prepared.
I feel that way too. I'm glad that they finally started doing it. This is different, but it's kind of the same. Where if I'm watching, let's say Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would like them to look like they're supposed to look, and sound like they're supposed to sound. So I agree with that.
No, I agree with you with that. It is kind of weird.
See it in its rawest form.
Yeah.
And sometimes the voice actors from from Japan, from those other actual countries, they just do a better job for some reason. Yeah. I don't know. It's just the nuance of because it's their craft.
Well, my thing is when it comes to voice acting in games, it's just more, especially with stuff like this. It's like Yakuza, for example, or Like a Dragon, whatever you want to call it. It takes place in Japan. These are Japanese people. To hear English voice actors do it, it just doesn't feel the same. Versus if you have the Japanese actors who each Yakuza character is actually facial modeled by the voice actor, so it makes even more sense to just have the voice actor because they're literally the same person. But anime, Persona, I don't care. I'll watch it in English because
the actors for English are just good.
Yeah,
so at this point,
good job.
Why switch?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Me and Ash are on that. It depends.
Three was good. 3 OG cast is good. 3 new cast is even better in my opinion. Okay, all right. So in certain parts, so for Akihiko, I'm still hung up on Akihiko's new VA. I'm still hung up on that. I don't know. I just can't. Who was the old actor that did Akihiko back then? Remember, James? I forgot his name. He voiced Gaara, English Gaara, from Naruto.
Liam O'Brien, right?
I think so. I think.
Liam O'Brien. Yeah, because he's also the book in Nier Replicant.
Yeah, he captured Akihiko so freaking well in the OG Persona 3, man. It's just, and I love Alondra Saab. Saab, he's an amazing actor. It's just a mismatch.
Yeah,
that's all it is. So
Well, it's like
I-
trying to get used to what's his name who's voicing the dude with the hat, Junpei. Right?
Oh, so see, the thing is, at first I was feeling a bit iffy with it, but now I listening more and more, I'm seeing how he's turning Junpei into his now. So
Yeah.
so at that point, I'm already good.
Yeah.
I'm already good with the
Oh,
new
he
Junpei
does
voice
a good.
actor.
Yeah, he does good.
Yeah.
I'm not because I like his voice work. It's just like I'm
Yeah.
so used to
Vic Mignogna.
yeah,
Yeah, I understand. Which
like-
he's also great too. He's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
and Vic, yeah, because he also did what Edward Elric.
Yeah, Edward
you know.
Elric. He also did the LG. I think he did the LG Broly for the movies, and then
He
he
did
did the
Brawley
new
Super.
Broly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broly Super. Yeah. So yeah, like new voice actors switch out from time to time. It all depends how well they perform. And the thing is, I'm mixed. I watch both dub and sub, depending on what my mood is and stuff. And like, for Yakuza, I played sub all the way, and like I did try to give it a listen for the newest game coming out, which
Yeah.
is
Like a Dragon,
not Like a Dragon. It's the Wealth one.
Infinite Wealth. Yeah, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. And there are certain voices I'm like, okay, it kind of fits, but I'm still not hanging with it. I think the biggest controversy right now for that game anyway is Kiryu's voice, because I think it's a YouTuber that's voicing him, Yang Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yang
the thing
Yi
was,
or something, yeah.
yeah, and there was like controversies of him criticizing Chris Pratt's Mario for for the new Super Mario Bros. Movie, and then like later on, it comes to bite him back in the ass and stuff.
Yeah.
So that whole thing is another can of worms. But
Well, yeah, I've heard his Kiryu voice, and it's just
yeah,
his Japanese voice is just too iconic. It's hard.
It's weird. It's weird because there's certain parts he does it okay, but there's certain parts he does it like terribly.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It depends on the game that you're playing.
Yeah, especially like Kiryu is supposed to be like 60 years old or something like that in this.
Yeah,
game.
and my guide, guys, do not watch the latest trailer. I don't know if they spoiled this already, but oh god, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
It made me really sad, but yeah, I'm not gonna say anything because I'm surprised they even released that trailer to begin with. So
the one that shows like what's his name, the machete guy, what's his name, I forgot his name.
no, it's not even that.
Not that one. Okay.
No, it's a new trailer they released, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So
it's one of those trailers
I
that
don't
just tells you the whole game.
pretty much. So don't watch it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just like, why did they release that? They didn't have to do that. Like, it's a Yakuza game. Come on. Like, so wait.
Skull and Bones finally got a release date of February 16. I guess we'll see if that gets pushed back. I don't think anybody here cares.
I'm just gonna feel bad for the game, to be perfectly honest with you. So I just hope it just succeeds some way. I don't know.
Well, Ubisoft better hope, because I don't know because the Singapore government not sponsored, but like paid for it, so it's like I don't know if they're gonna have to pay him back or something.
Ooh, yeah.
A game here called Lost Records Blue and Rage, which I do not remember at all.
What's the game about? I actually forgot to.
I don't know neither. Well, we'll figure out, because the next one is actually pretty fun, because that's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Finally, got a name.
Lost Records. That's the one that we thought was another like novel, Colors of Life or whatever.
Yeah,
the one with the girls
novel?
like
visual novel.
God, what was that?
Or
game?
not visual novel. Like the story.
Not a visual novel.
Like
it was
Life
a
is Strange.
story-driven game.
Oh yeah,
Life is Strange. We thought it was Life is Strange.
I remember.
The Lost Records, Blue and Red. We thought it was Life is Strange, but it wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
You were saying that was similar to Yellow Jacket.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But yeah, we had Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which got a proper reveal. We got some characters to see. Our friend Geekdom 101 did a breakdown of each character and stuff like that of the game, so definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It's another Dragon Ball game. It's going to be $70, so a lot of people are kind of like,
I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care. I'm going in.
A lot of people are like, I'm not paying $70 for a Dragon Ball game, but yeah, I'm gonna get it because it looks fun and I'm gonna get it.
The art style's interesting with the hand-drawn
Yeah.
characters with the 3D backgrounds.
Listen, the game's been cooking for 5 years, man. They're not rushing this game out. So it's so like
they did say that it is a spiritual successor to Budokai Tenkaichi. Like not developer, but the director said that for the game, that it's gonna have the spirit of Budokai Tenkaichi, which a lot of people just want. I'm curious because it's called Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, so I
Which
hope it
means
spans
OG.
across all of them, like Dragon
OG.
Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and even Super, and maybe Daima as well. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd
Like,
be nice.
because Tenkaichi 3 had everything, so why not bring that to this game? So there's a
They
lot
did
of
say the roster's gonna be bigger, so I'm expecting everybody from the last game into to be in this game.
they
That's
they
all I'm-
just need to have my boy Trunks with the ponytail, like, because no game puts him in. Like, they don't have him with the ponytail, they have him with the long hair or with the short hair. They don't have the in between.
James, how many controls do you think you're gonna go through? Because you know the beam clashes. You know what's gonna
I
happen
hope
to the
so.
solid
I hope they do
world.
something else with the beam clashes, because that's one reason why I don't play.
We're gonna be.
That's why I don't play the Mario 64 Mario Party games, because you gotta do the stupid thing with the thumbstick. I'm not trying to break my thumbstick.
Best controls for that was literally GameCube, but
Not
I don't know
not
about
every
these new
controller
ones.
has Hall effects, you know.
Yeah, man.
Wear it out super fast.
Well, that GameCube or the N64 controller, when I would do that in Mario 64, I would have like a mark right in the middle of my palm. Oh man.
You think your 8-bit Duke controllers will last that long?
I mean, they got Hall effects. They got Hall effect sensors, so I hope so. But you can't use them on PlayStation, unfortunately.
That's gonna be new packaging, like Dragon Ball certified.
Yeah.
Yes, that will be a great meme. Love it. They gotta do that.
Well, I'm excited for that. Fortnite launched Rocket Racing, which is just racing with like Rocket League cars. The
Pretty
Ori
much.
developer showed a new game called No Rest for the Wicked, which kind of gives like Diablo style like action RPG vibes, like an isometric
much.
action game, maybe RPG. Looks pretty cool. I'm interested in it. Multi-platform coming Q1 2024. Exodus was shown. I don't really remember much. Was that the one that we said was like Mass Effect? Yeah, that was the one that looked like
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
yes, yeah.
Which got me interested. Yeah, it's a sci-fi RPG that looked pretty interesting. And yeah, I'm excited to see more of it, because I like Mass Effect. This is actually they're ex-BioWare developers, so they worked on Mass Effect. So it will be interesting to see what they do. There's that weird game called Big Walk. No offense, but it's from the Untitled Goose Game.
Walking simulator.
Just,
Yep.
yeah, walking sim.
Um,
But you play like weird anthropomorphic, no, not anthropomorphic, weird, just alien-looking
Yeah.
creatures that look evolved forms of unknowns.
I just hope they do something fun with it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, what's up, cuz? Welcome to the stream.
Because like they have the Goose Game. The Goose Game did pop off really well because it was something different.
Yeah.
I just hope they do something even more different with this walking simulator.
Yeah.
And until then, I'm just gonna keep calling it. So
Kimuri, which was Ikumi Nakamura's game. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Unseen. That's the name of the game. Or is it Kimuri? Wait. Oh no, the studio is Unseen. The game is Kimuri, which
glad
looks
she's
like
doing
a
well.
4-player, like, I don't know what type of game.
it's like
I don't know. What
it definitely involves a lot of hardcore. You're definitely ninjas and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
This is what happens when there's no freaking gameplay, man. It's like,
yeah,
you show this off, like, what type of game is this?
What I'm hoping will be is that they're gonna give you like free reign to like actually travel through like from like building to building, just like similar to like Assassin's Creed, or even with what's that one game, Ghostwire Tokyo, because apparently you could do the same thing through that, but with like ninja like mechanics and stuff. So like if they allow you to give players more creative freedom on how they parkour, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I'm hoping for that. It just sounds like a 4-player ninja co-op game and stuff. And you can do the same thing with TMNT beat 'em ups if you want to do that.
So I'm gonna skip some of the stuff because there's a lot of stuff that was announced.
Yeah,
I didn't even
I
notice
thought you were gonna
that.
go through every single thing. Like, we're gonna be stuck here for 3 hours.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna skip some of the stuff. I'm gonna go with the highlights.
Just like the Game Awards.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go with the highlights. The Jurassic Park survival game looks pretty cool. It's like a first-person survival game, which I'm interested in. It gave me like Turok vibes, just without it being Turok.
Yeah, I was complaining. I wasn't complaining for gay gameplay until they should have showed it at the end of it. I remember that.
Visions of Mana, which is the highlight. Geek, what do you think about Visions of Mana?
I'm excited about Visions of Mana. It's been, I was a kid, it feels like, since I've seen like them do a Mana game. Well, they did just do the remake for PS4. And that
Trials of
that
Mana
looked
too.
gorgeous. You're right. Trials of Mana as well, and I still need to beat that.
Same
Both
here.
art styles
I have two
that I would
save
like to
files on
see
that.
Yeah.
a Chrono Trigger in. Those are the art styles I want to see Chrono Trigger in if they do a remake. Not HD 2D. Please, no HD 2D for my Chrono Trigger.
So you were like a full like
I like that.
anime.
I like that anime because that's what means Sakura Toriyama.
Yeah.
That anime-ish style, that bubbly, open cut. But Visions of Mana looks
Yeah,
great.
it would do well. Yeah, Chrono Trigger in the Visions of Mana style, like that would actually work out really well.
Well, you would do Chrono Trigger, but the world will look like Dragon Ball's Z Kakarot, like because that's all
Oh,
like
yeah,
Toriyama's
yeah.
artwork
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
On it-
That's
on
what
it-
I mean.
on-
I don't think that I say it again. I say it every podcast I'm on.
Or Dragon Quest 11, I guess, but
Not
more
every
cell
game
shaded.
has to be
Yeah.
HD 2D.
That-
Every
that-
game has to do that.
I feel like Chrono Trigger is perfect the way it is. It doesn't
I
really need to
agree.
get the remaster or HD 2D treatment or 3D treatment. Just release the game on newer platforms and have people enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
With all
You
these
disagree?
remakes, bro, I can't. Like Chrono Trigger was such a. They just left it. It's
You
such a
don't
great
you don't
game.
think the graphics live up? I mean,
I think it
they're
lives
perfectly
up.
fine.
The graphics looked up, but you can't like. You're not going to be able to fully enjoy Chrono Trigger the way that because it's older. It still good, looks good. It's my favorite game, but I don't know if I'm explaining it right. It's like how Final Fantasy VII was. People didn't realize how it looked, it's supposed to look until the remaster came out, and you're like, oh shoot, hey, that looks really good. And it was at that time, it was the dream team of things. Like they did it on Steam and it was not good. But if you're gonna redo it, I mean, I'll take anything at this time.
Yeah.
But
The Steam one is okay. I mean, it's fine, but it's not
the Steam one,
what you want.
Yeah. But it's just a port of the DS one.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and some of the translations was off. Like, and that's a big thing. If the translations are off, well,
That'd
you
be a
know,
game I
there's
like to
so
see
much-
with freaking voice
that's
acting.
that's one of the
Yeah.
motivations that I need to
Exactly.
study Japanese for, because I'm tired of these botch translations and stuff. Like, I'm tired.
I'm-
Well,
Kong
that's
is supposed to sound like a knight. He's supposed to sound like, he's not
No,
supposed to sound like a dude.
I'm referring to like the actual translations from like Japanese to English and stuff.
Mhm.
Like what the Japanese version is saying and what the English is saying,
yeah.
right? Because I've been seeing that quite often when it comes to my games too, and I'm tired of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that when I do like the English
Lost in
voice, but then
translation.
I do the subtitles and then they don't match.
In a lot of
Like,
movies. In
like,
or anime.
for-
You know?
Like for example,
Anime does a lot with anime.
I'm trying to like remember back because I was trying to like decide on which version to get. I think it had something to do with Star Ocean, the first departure. Right? Is that what it's called? Star Ocean, the first departure?
That would be the first game.
Yeah. So I think there were like 3 versions and stuff. There was the SNES, because I was actually thinking about it. I was like, there was the SNES version and stuff, and apparently from based on like the research I saw, it was more like, okay, this one has this one is the original experience, has all the stuff you know and love in it. Problem was they were saying that the translation was a bit weird in the English and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, all right.
This was common for the SNES era.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the fan translation for that and play like that. And then the guy kept going up in the ladder saying, okay, if you want to play the Switch version, apparently he was saying that was the best version because it included both the new art style and the old art style for the first Star Ocean games. I was like, okay, cool. But the other thing he was saying though is that some of the content was cut out from the game. Someone's like, why is the content cut? Game, man, like can we just keep the same thing and then add on to it? That's what I'm asking. Like, come on.
The Pixel remasters don't include any of the GBA added content for any of the Final Fantasy games on GBA.
I'm just saying, like, it's just like once it's in, it stays in. That's my rule. It's like, okay, you're gonna remake a game, okay? Keep the same stuff that already is in the game, and if you want to add some stuff to it, then add stuff to it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Like, it's not hard. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it's just.
Let me just say this real quick. If
What's
Mario RPG can get a remaster and look how great it looks, why can't Chrono Trigger? Which both of them came around about a year apart. Matter of fact, did they come out the same year in '95? Around about a year apart, around that same time.
Yeah.
And if Trials of Mana can get one, if Secret of Mana can get one,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
and those upgraded. If you go back and look at the Super Nintendo version to the Switch and PS4 versions, why should we? Because If you look at Chrono Trigger compared
Yeah.
to the 95 version to the HD 2D, I mean, honestly, it ain't that much far off. And that was a 1995 game. Yeah, it doesn't have the 3D aspects, but Chrono Trigger was ahead of its time. When you played it back in 95,
Oh
96,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
you're like, oh my
Hey.
God, what is this? Like I
That
remember
was nuts
that
to
was
me.
the first time my mom's left me alone and let me play a game for over a week. Or that summer vacation, I just rented that game from Video Zone for 2 weeks straight. I was listening to, well, oh my God, it goes way back before we knew about them. R. Kelly and Aaliyah and Blackstreet on the tape player, where I would just tape it from the radio and flip the tape over that whole summer. That was it. That was it. And it just compared to all the other games, because it compared to even Final Fantasy VI, which was out at that time. So for them not to take that leap, but to take the leap for everything else, I'd rather you just leave it the way it is. Don't give me nothing there. Just leave it, because it's so many people that have not played Mario RPG, and for those of y'all who have played it, and then the ones who hadn't played it and played this, I've heard people, I see why you were talking about Geno.
Yeah.
I've had people come back and had to apologize to me because they weren't around when this man Geno, and why I only liked that Princess Peach. She wasn't a damsel in distress. Well, she was, but then she wasn't. She got out the damn castle and did something.
I mean, there was 2 instances I believe that she wasn't in damsel in distress. We keep forgetting about Super Princess Peach on the DS, because she had to go out and actually save Mara.
There's Super Mario Brothers U. There's Super Mario 3D World.
And there's also Mario Bros 2, where
if
Peach was also a playable character.
There's also Mario Party. There's Mario Kart. You want to take it to that route.
I mean, their canon game, Super Mario World, is a 2D side, or Super Mario 3D World is a 2D side, or not 2D, it's a 3D. I don't know what you would call that. Was it 3D platformer? It's a bunch of things. It's level based.
if they're going to do like an HD 2D thing or a 3D remake for Chrono Trigger, I want them to do that right and have them take their time with it, and don't say anything. They I don't want them to announce it, and so that way we have all our eyes on it. Like, just literally do it in secret. Literally do it in secret.
They had fans who actually had. I forgot that because I did something on a video earlier this year about it. They had fans who were making the game that looked better than what the Steam version. Like, fans just did this out of their own pockets and just took the time to do it, and of course it got canceled. I mean, that's their IP,
Nintendo.
Yeah, Visions of Mana coming next year. I'm actually super excited for that. Like, Trials of Mana, I also have to beat it. Like, I think I got like halfway and then just stopped. It's also a fun game. I got the Collections of Mana game, and I also was playing Trials of Mana like simultaneously. So I was playing the OG SNES Trials of Mana and then the Trials of Mana remake. Yeah, and I was doing them both side by side to kind of experience it all, which was pretty cool. And Secret of Mana is one of those games that, in my opinion, still holds up to today. I was playing that, and I was like, man, this game is fun. 3-player, like, multiplayer, like, couch co-op. That's
multi-tap.
Yeah.
It's the first game I remember with the multi-tap, like, especially RPG.
Yeah,
you did have
RPG for sure. Visions of Mana, I hope it does that. That would be nice if it had local multiplayer. Even, I guess, online maybe. But it'll just be a fun aspect just to have, drop in, drop out play.
Yes, please. That's always fun.
Let's see. Skipping to a couple things. Black Myth Wukong finally has a release date, August 20th, 2024, which is, I'm hyped for. Can't wait to play that. Yeah. Another highlight for the show for me was the Tales of Kinzera. Kinzera Zhao, I think is how you pronounce it. Which is coming April 23rd, 2024. That was the one that was done by I can't say his name. I don't want to butcher it. Abu
Bakar, the one guy.
The brother.
The one guy.
It's the brother.
The one guy.
It's the brother.
It's a very Metroidvania style game.
Yeah. I legit remember
it.
that game because of the guy losing his father and his father
putting out the games.
I'm like, that's what stuck to me the most instead of the game itself. Which is why I'm going to buy the game once it comes out.
Well, I mean, he mentioned Golden Sun. He mentioned Kingdom Hearts. All the right RPGs. He wasn't that random person that came out. Yeah, I played games too. I played the very first Mario game.
Or like, people who are like,
I play Call of Duty.
I'm a gamer
pulling
too,
a Vin Diesel.
I play Halo.
Right? No, he mentioned like Golden Sun. You're like, whoa, Golden Sun.
Was surprising.
Like,
that was surprising.
Yeah, but it looked cool nonetheless. Like, I'm pretty excited, and he seemed like an actual passionate. Yeah,
$20 too.
He seemed passionate about it.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna emphasize it.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of sisters in gaming. Not too many black protagonists, black male protagonists, and they had 2, and this is 1. So I'm definitely day 1 on that.
What was
Because
the
of the
other one?
representation. Because if you don't buy it, it was another dude. It was like from the Cowboy game. He probably wasn't a main character though, but I forgot. It was a game on the show. But he was like he had a cowboy hat on. And he was in the background, so he's probably not the main guy, but he was in there. I don't even know his name, so I
trying to
guess
look
he doesn't
through
count.
it.
But this one, the main.
Yeah, I'm looking through the list.
And we do play RPGs, guys, developers, black people. We do watch anime and play RPGs. Just to throw that out there. My money's green too. Just get out there for real.
I keep forgetting that Guilty Gear has black characters. I don't know if you've seen that one black character from Guilty Gear Strive. I'm like, damn.
They hate him too. They hate him. They hate him. They want to nerf. They hate him. Not because he's black, but they hate him because his moves and he covers up so much space. Much space.
Oh, is he okay? So he's like a kind of a cheat or easy character to play.
Yeah. Okay. But his sword swing, it covers like a good third of the screen, and people are like, "Yo, play with him."
It's funny because there's literally another character that literally does the same thing, so I don't know why.
You had Mecha Break, which was showed off, which I literally thought was Gundam, like 90% of the trailer. And then
we thought it was either Demon X Machina or Gundam. We was like, no, you're both wrong. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it looks fun.
It does look good. It does look really good.
You know, so I'll keep an eye out on that. You know, there's a couple of other stuff, Guilty Gear DLC, a game called Banishers, and so forth. There's just a bunch of other stuff that I won't be mentioning. I don't see anything worth mentioning actually. Yeah, everything else was just kind of whack. But that was it. What do you guys rate the Game Awards? Like, how did they do it for you? Like, did you like it?
Okay, this is weird to rate and stuff because like there's some things I love about the Game Awards this year, and there's something I just hate about it. So I'm probably just gonna give like a standard rating, maybe C- to a C+, C- to C+. Mainly because, and I want to harp on this a little bit. It's just the fact of how they kind of disrespected like the award winners and stuff, right? You got Eiji Aonuma going up, getting his award, and they have the audacity to tell him to please wrap it up.
Yeah,
you got a legendary in your premises.
You wouldn't do that to Kojima.
No, yeah, you wouldn't do that to Kojima. I'm like, come on. Seriously. And the thing is, I didn't even play Tears of the Kingdom yet. I haven't played that game, but I do know for a fact that Aonuma is freaking amazing for his shit. Excuse my language, but amazing for his crap. And you're gonna use a teleprompter and tell him to get off the stage? The audacity! I'm surprised that some of these Japanese developers were even here in the first place after like 2 security incidents, and you just go up and do that. I mean, I understand that a lot of people complain like a year before that the Game Awards was too long, but you gotta like literally study and see what things we should took out and what things should stay in and stuff. Like, come on.
When
I don't know.
I want to say when the Game of the Awards that year that Smash Bros Ultimate came out, the Game Awards ended like around midnight that year, because I remember like as I was driving to Best Buy to get my copy of Smash Bros.
That's when
Ultimate.
Joker was announced.
Yes, when Joker was announced. And that ended at midnight because everybody was like,
that was
hyped.
The biggest drop. That was the craziest drop I ever seen. Because the funny thing about that is a day prior, me and my friends were joking into Smash because we're like, no way this will happen. And then like the day after that thing happens, we were just losing our crap, right? But the thing is that like you invite these people to come on stage and receive your award and then shoo them off the stage within like 2 to 3 minutes. So to me that was extremely disrespectful. Yeah. And at the same time, you favor your best friends like Kojima, for example, to talk about a game where we don't even see no gameplay. I mean, this was obvious from a Kojima standpoint, because when Kojima comes out with a new game, we know for a fact that we're not going to see any gameplay until later on and stuff. So this is no different for what he's showing. It's just this could have been either 1 or 2 minutes, just like with everyone else, or that could have been a YouTube video for the Xbox channel. Yeah. Assuming that will be an Xbox exclusive, which will be a smart move from Microsoft's standpoint. So it's just things like that. It irks me a lot and stuff, right? And I'm just scratching the surface. So some of the awards for some of them, like especially for Alan Wake 2, shouldn't have gone to Alan Wake 2. And But that's like the bottom list of reasons stuff. It's
Yeah.
just the fact that like, okay, you invite these people out and then you shoot them away for 2 minutes. Seriously? So C+.
Yeah.
C+
Alright.
for me.
What about you, Fan? What do you rate the Game Awards?
Probably B-, I guess. C+, B-, somewhere in there.
What
I mean,
about
it was fine. It wasn't like the whole like rapid firing of the awards was annoying.
Yeah.
I felt like they focused too much on like the game reveals. I feel.
Yeah.
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 So, which is why people sometimes want to confuse the game as like another winter E3, they will call it, right? I think Kotaku was the ones that actually wrote an article about that and say, hey, listen, make up your mind. Are you either a E3 2.0 or the Game Awards?
Yeah.
It's not it was basically not an award show anymore at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
So
How about you?
I probably agree with you, Ash. It'd probably be like a C+.
I mean, that's just me. I mean, the joke was funny at the beginning with Christopher Judge talking. It was funny. But when you were using on other people that actually got an award and like came down to your place to receive it, then I'm like, bro.
How do you feel about that? Like a lot of people are, I guess, offended at his joke and saying like he shouldn't have said that
about Call of Duty.
Yeah, like to me, I
found it hilarious.
Yeah, I think you don't take it to heart and also take it to heart, right? Like they're saying that, like, you know what? Hey, yeah, our campaign is short. Maybe we should work on that versus get offended over that. Like,
I don't think it was the people that were offended about the Call of Duty joke. It was the COD developers that were offended about the joke.
Even some people are. Yeah, some people are like defending the developers. But yeah.
And what did he even say about it? I think he said the game was short, right? Is that
what he said? He's saying that his speech was longer than the campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's funny, but like, what I found it even more funny is that like a little bit like after that's when they showed God of War Ragnarok DLC, free DLC,
Yeah.
so basically more content starring Christopher Judge that voices as Kratos. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it's funny. One developer wrote something so weird, like you wish that God of War would have so many successful entries or something. Like, oh, it was some weird thing. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was one of the developers. It was somewhere like on Twitter that was.
Yo, he must have been born in 2012.
I'm like,
I don't know about that.
God of War was popular since it came out. You know,
yeah.
Like the first trilogy was like there was like God of War Ascension. I think was the only one that people didn't really care for.
Yeah,
which was like going to a different direction. But even the PSP entries were like very popular. So it was just a weird.
They just mad. That's all it is. Like this give it a rest. The campaign is short. It's 2 hours.
No, but yeah, some people were saying like you shouldn't do that to your peers, and I'm like, man,
it's called criticism.
If you can't, I was watching Player Essence is Black Healy Awards. They call them the Spawncast Awards with Black Healy, and I was just cracking up the whole time. And he was making fun of his peers, and like it's one of those things. It's like. They know to laugh. Like it's satire. Yeah. It's just
it's satire. Like they need to give it a rest.
You must not be able to go to like a comedy club because they'll roast you. Like they roast people in the audience all the time. So
yeah,
they use that no more. They don't do that no more.
They do, but I was being sarcastic. They can't. You can't. Everybody's sensitive. You can't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta bite your tongue to that shit bleed. You can't say Nathan no more.
It sucks.
And even people are so
much.
People are so, and it's not even you like you see what I just said. I still get comments from this day for just saying that LeBron James is playing 20 years in basketball. That's his job. Is that not his job? 20 years.
That is his job.
Once a day, somebody get that. You don't know the whole post. Hey, bro, hold up. I say that the dude couldn't play. I said he's good at his job. He does it for. It's not for the money anymore. It's not. I said, look, that's your king player. I don't want no money. Problems.
You know how much he's getting paid for?
So you mean if he was doing it for free, is he volunteering?
You can do it for free by going to the park.
You can't talk. You can't. You say something about somebody. The only person get away with it is if you're Chappelle.
Yeah,
like if you're on that.
I love this show, man. Oh my god,
you get slapped across the face if you're Chris Rock. Was it that a joke?
Honestly, I thought that was a skit. I legit thought that was a skit
I
when
think
that
a lot of
slap
people
happened.
were like
That's
trying to
what I
examine
first-
it and see.
And I feel
Yeah.
people, and that's another thing too, is that with that whole Chris Rock slap thing, I thought that brought more views and clicks and more
yeah.
watch time towards the Oscars than anything.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have the other, I forgot the others, but they were offended by it. They wanted to close like burn all bridges with Will Smith because that happened. But bro, it literally brought more revenue towards the show because of that slap. So I'm just like, you should be thanking Will Smith for doing that. I'm just trying
That's
to figure
true.
this out.
Now people are
I'm
gonna be watching
legit
the
about-
Oscars, so you're like, oh, what's happening next? It's like Bill Clinton guy
Like
in the
reality
Game
TV,
Awards.
man.
Honestly, it could be a race thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because what if a white guy went up and slapped another white guy? I wonder what will happen from there.
I don't know. Let's find.
So.
Let's find out. No, I'm just kidding. Pixel says, according to Bloomberg, the devs were massively crunched to get the game out, and yeah, the criticism is definitely valid. Yeah, I mean, if the devs are crunched, then yeah, I get it. And at that point, if the devs should just speak from the heart, but like, look, we were crunched, and we had no choice, so we had to make this, so that
Listen,
it gets out there, like people know.
Let's get rid of crunch. No crunch means better work conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I would
That's it.
argue let's just get rid of. I mean, we can't do that, but like ever since video game, like, and this is my opinion, like the way I examine it, ever since video games became mainstream, which is that Xbox 360 era,
Yeah.
like gaming has just, in my opinion, the quality of games has just gone downhill because a lot of corporations got involved in gaming, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we need microtransactions, we need season passes. Yeah, it's all about the money, and that's why I stick to a lot of Japanese games because at least they still have that honor of creating good games.
Here's the
Minus
thing.
Battling Wonderworld, but yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that,
Yeah,
right?
passion.
What
happened?
I just forgot. Oh, hold up a second. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Okay. Here's the thing with that. It's like you have all these developers like crunching, right? But but here's the weirdest part. Those same game developers are also software engineers, obviously, but they're getting paid like peanuts compared to like an average software developer. Typically, they make mostly from $90K and up. Meanwhile, these same game developers are getting paid $70K at best. I mean, okay, it's still good money. Yeah. It's still good money. Don't get me wrong. Solid, yeah, it's solid. But
10%, hit the 10%.
Yeah, solid. But it's the fact that they're getting getting pushed way more harder compared to the average software engineer. Yeah. And I know this because listen, I got a good amount of friends that actually do software engineer for a living, and they're living decently and stuff, and they're not getting pushed hard from their own managers and stuff. And then with these game developers, man, they're like, I don't understand why they're not getting paid as much.
These teams got to do more than Pixar does in a movie, and it's like they don't get paid. Well, I guess I don't know how much Pixar employees get paid. I assume they get paid pretty good.
I hope they get paid
more than gaming developers. So this is all assumption. I should probably fact check. I mean, I guess you could write it in the comments and say I'm wrong, and whatever.
Honestly,
but
if anything,
you're wrong.
Yeah.
If anything, just like with the SAG after, just like the writers strike and stuff, I want them to have a game developer strike. I want that to happen too, because I mean, hey. I don't mind
backlog.
That because listen, if all the games get pushed back, well, guess what? You got time to play other games that you missed out on. There you go. Yeah. Just like with the writer's strike, if your favorite TV season is gonna get pushed back for another year, well, guess what? You watch either watch other things, read a book, play a game, do something. Yeah. Let's get another strike going. Like
you sound like I sound. Everybody starts screaming about this in Nintendo Direct, and I'm like, well, don't you guys work? Don't you wait? You want more games?
Wait, what'd you say?
More games? When a Nintendo Direct drops, everybody's like, "Oh God, I need a Nintendo Direct." They're like, "I got that Nintendo Direct crack. I need that Nintendo Direct." And I'm like, "Wait a minute."
I'm like,
when did
slow down.
Other games,
slow down.
Yeah,
it will come.
To beat these other games.
The games will come out, but by the time the games will come out, you'll be playing other games anyway. It always happens.
Yep.
Okay, and I don't know. I think consumerism is really, really unhealthy at this point because people are just like literally staring at the screens 24/7, hoping for something new to come up, whether it's a TV show, some drama happening, anything. They're just glued to those screens 24/7. I feel like people need to calm down a little bit and just focus on something else. That's all I'm saying. So, which means let's have a game dev strike going on happen. Let's have that. Let's have that happening. I would love to I would love to see that. It'd be wonderful. That way they'll actually get better pay and we'll get better games. So
Geek, what do you rate the Game Awards?
I give it a solid B. I agree with Fan. I do wish. I think they some of the theatrics that they didn't necessarily have to do. If you are going to put Gonzo in it, which I like Gonzo, but I mean maybe 3 minutes per game you're talking about, and that still wouldn't equal up to all that time. But I liked it a lot better than the other one. The last few, like, because since the Smash Brother reveals, it doesn't feel like we're waiting or anticipating everything. Like everybody, and I'm a big Final Fantasy VII guy, but I wasn't. I don't know how to go, but I wasn't that. I mean, I wasn't excited about the Sid because we knew Sid was going to be in the game, and we know that he's going to be a guest Red 13 type character this time around anyway. So
Mhm.
I'm excited my game going to get to it. You know, I'll see when the game comes out in 2 months. So I do think, as a side note, they're making Aerith marry Sue, and I don't particularly like that Aerith is like she's just now she can sing. Yeah, we just had the whole golden honeybee end thing with unnecessary singing 30-minute scene, and now we
Yeah.
got another one. This isn't an old school Disney movie, but you know what? It still was a good solid thing. You know, it was a good solid thing. I would change if possible. I would do like corners. And what I mean by corners is like have a like give people a chance to go to the bathroom because it was a 4-hour and 20-minute freaking thing or something like that. So you do your indies and then you'll talk about them, and then that's when you announce the awards for that indie. Then you'll do like the big premieres, and that's when you'll announce. But you give us a trailer of the game, at least a 2 to 3 minute trailer of the game. Don't just announce it and then talk about it, pay your bills. It's something else. I know because it's a big hole that E3 is gone. That's why I like them mixing them honestly, but this hopefully is a stepping stone for them to get better because to me it got better from last year. Last year was, to me, was like pulling teeth. I can't really remember. Oh, Elden Ring won. But wasn't this one felt a little smoother. And I liked it. Kratos is, I always forget his name. Kratos' voice actor, his long speech.
Christopher Judge.
Yeah, Christopher Judge. I liked his long speech because it came from his heart. It was passionate, but it needs to be scripted better. Like, I didn't even mind Kojima talking. Like, if Hinabaru or if Shigeru Miyamoto or if Kojima talk, I want to listen. I'll listen for 10 to 15 minutes. Everybody else wait. I'm sorry. Yeah. Unless you're one of those you're getting an award for your work. You're that notable, then everybody else could wait. That's just how I did. Whoever's the best always comes in last. That's why the heroes always come in last. So, give them that time. But just because they had 15 minutes, then cut out the fat with something else. Less Jeff. How about we do less Jeff? People saying less Jeff, because I know like last year it was a lot of Sydney, and that's why I said less Sydney last year because she was kind of fumbling up a little bit, but at least go to other people or something else to do it. It's a better way to make it smoother, but do like a section where you're knowing when you're like, okay, when you're watching a real award show, and I'm not a big award show person, when you watch a real award show, first they'll have music, they'll have other skits, they'll have other things there, but it's a time for that. You know what I'm saying? Then in between those things, will say if they had the stuff with Final Fantasy, well then do the RPG of the year and show those different trailers of that. But all in all, for me, it wasn't bad. Had some solid games that I want to pick up. But I hope it's a stepping stone for it to be better in the future. Like just go up because we don't have anything else. Mm-hmm. Like it's unfortunate because now everybody wants to do their own thing, which is smart. Why shouldn't you want to do your own thing? Nintendo, Microsoft, PlayStation, with your own type of directs and showcases. Why not? Because it costs extra money to do it at because back in the day, well, for real, they wasn't like people didn't give a shit about games like that. It was a hobby. Only geeks and nerds and dweebs that they're the only ones. We're the only ones that didn't like games. Nobody
Pretty
else
much.
really
Yeah.
cared until they start making money. And this is a small transition. That's what the problem is. We were just talking about it because now it's a business. So people think that you got to make the best graphical game and the best. You got to have multiplayer, and the Call of Duty devs should get mad. They should take it offensively. That's preposterous. At least a 5-hour or 10-hour. Come on. You're taking all of the microtransaction, and unfortunately, the devs don't have a lot of say in it. It's what they're getting paid from the corporations. So that's why the passion really is into the indie developers. And those are the ones we really need to support a lot, because those are the ones who are doing it not because, like James right here, we all here, you're doing it for the passion. You're doing Twitch and YouTube for the passion. You can see it. But that's better quality. If somebody's doing it just to get a paycheck or under a corporate, the corporate disguise kind of thing, like, oh, you have to do this narrative, you have to make this game this way, you have to have that, like most games I gotta have a multiplayer. Okay, well, you better put a woman as the main character, or you gotta have this particular, I hate to use that word woke because it's been twisted up when it's not really what it means anymore.
I hate that word.
But you have to have this particular agenda that's sprayed or sprinkled into the game. And a lot of times those aren't the people who are in the trenches doing and building the games. They don't want to do that, but they love what they're doing, but they have to do what the business is saying. So I would like to see if the indie folks, if we could all do like some kind of awards, like a big indie awards like that, that'll be way down somewhere else. But even a showcase or something for them to do, to put that within the Game Awards. But other than that, like I said, I gave it a good B.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would agree with you. I think a B, probably B minus, mainly for me because as a viewing for up and coming games, I thought was great. Like there were some highlights, the Sega stuff, Monster Hunter Wilds, Visions of Mana. There were some great things, even the new trailer to Rebirth and stuff like that. They did great. As an awards show, yeah, like I agree. Like I do want to hear like what was Onuma going at, Baldur's Gate 3 devs. They were talking about like how there's some of their, not teammates, what would you call it? Co-workers and stuff like that, like they died during the development of the game, and there's a lot of stuff that went on because that game was in development for a long time. A lot of people don't realize that game was in early access for years. I think like 5 years or something like that, because I remember in 2020 people were already testing it out and stuff like that, so it was in development for quite some time, probably more than 5 years out, honestly. But like, let them talk. That's part of the award show. Don't just come in and be like, all right, your 1 minute's up, move on, you gotta go. Like having a Numa on there, right? Like what if Miyamoto was there?
Play the music.
Yeah,
they just start playing the music.
I dare them.
Yeah,
like what they start talking a little bit. It was 15 seconds, and they just put the music on.
If Miyamoto went on there and they started playing the music, I would have loved for him to say, like, if it wasn't for me, this industry wouldn't be where it's at. Like, I saved the gaming industry.
Straight up, like, man. But no, more minutes to Jordan Peele, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely. Listen, I love Jordan Peele. Don't get me wrong. I love the guy, but listen, he's not a game developer.
Yeah. So I like. Now
fine.
you can do something
he got that notch on his resume now, and he's worked Kojima. Yeah. Come on now.
Like indie game of the year, going back to that, like indie devs have so much passion, and for them to just be a side note, like content creator of the year, I get it, right? I guess, and I say that even as like me, if I were to ever one day be on that list, I wouldn't mind like you don't give me that time. Just I would rather the indie devs explain like, hey, we're so happy that we made this dream project, of. I know their story, but like a lot of people don't know their story of they were inspired by Mario RPG and like Illusion of Gaia, Chrono Trigger, all these games. They were inspired by all these RPGs. A lot of people don't know that, and it would have been nice to see them go on there and express their thoughts. If you want to showcase a Kojima moment, that's fine, but shorten that down some. Make sure they have a time limit. If they're gonna give you like 10 minutes of nothing, then in the name, like the title of Jordan Peele's movie, nope, don't do that.
That was bad.
I
Like,
feel like
don't.
they gave us a bag of Lay's with 2 chips.
Yeah, it's like don't do that. Like
Oh,
if you
that sounds
if you're
about right.
talking about something
Charge
that
$5 for it.
that is beneficial to that, yeah. Like don't make stupid jokes. Don't come out like and pretend you're a gamer. You know, with what's his name?
Vin Diesel.
No, well, there's Vin Diesel.
I thought it was still funny for me.
What's his name? No, the other guy that came in from Interstellar.
In the summer?
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew
Oh, you talking about,
McConaughey.
yeah, McConaughey.
Yeah, he came
Oh.
on. I'm like, bro, like, just say it. You also had, you know, what's his name? Shang-Chi. I forgot what his name is too. The actor who plays him.
Oh, yeah, I know you're-
something Liu.
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu, yeah.
Simu Liu.
Oh, I forgot
yeah,
about this too.
Like,
Actually,
like, come
He was
on,
actually
like,
good though. He was good though. He actually moved the show along. I thought
Yeah.
at least. His jokes were funny and he kind of moved it along. I think
Yeah.
his purpose
But he wasn't there for like 5-10 minutes.
that's true. He wasn't there for that.
No.
He was
that long.
He was there fairly short. He did his thing, made a comment about his boot, and then moved on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and
I
that's
I
how
thought they
it
had
should be.
scripts. I thought they
Or
had scripts most
what's
of the
his
time.
name? Anthony
Yeah, they got
Anthony
proper
Mackie,
most of the
bro.
time.
Like him with his like coming out on stage. Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't have to.
He could have ignored the heckler or the guy that was screaming "I love you."
Yeah,
Right?
Oh, yeah, you're right,
Didn't
you're
have to
right.
he didn't have to keep playing into that dude.
yeah,
The fact that he kept acknowledging it meant that dude kept saying it.
yeah.
He could have just said it once, be done with it, and then that's it. But he
Yeah.
kept going back to the guy.
That
He was
dragged on
trying
the
to-
show.
He was trying to pull a Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's
that one
that's the
time.
first thing that I thought. But like Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves just quickly
But
said,
Keanu Reeves only did
Yeah,
it once.
he
Yeah.
did it once.
he did it once
He
and it
did
got to the
once.
point.
His-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I agree. Like a B would be fine.
Even
Like
that wasn't that bad. that wasn't even on the Kojima level, which I agree with y'all, like, because they didn't show anything.
yeah. Well, for me,
That
it was just
wasn't that bad. Sometimes it's
the constant no, I love you. Like honestly, that was to me was getting annoying. It's like, come on, just get to what you got to say. But yeah, I give it a B. I think you should break apart in like 2 shows. Have a pre-show that gives you all the like the announcements of games coming, and then have the actual award show maybe separate. Like I don't know how you would do that. And I do agree. I think we have all of these like announcements because there's no E3. So like, where else are you gonna show these things, right? Because Gamescom, I for the life of me, you know, we had this talk on the podcast previously, but for the life of me, I could not remember Gamescom being nowhere near as big as E3. Yes, it's a convention. They showed up, but when it came to announcements, I'm pretty sure E3 was always bigger than Gamescom. Even Tokyo Game Show, like they do show a lot of new things, but it was always E3 was where you got the majority of the stuff. Like Gamescom maybe had a few, and then Tokyo Game Show had a few. So I don't know. I think maybe if E3 would have came back, maybe it wouldn't be like this. So
Is there
Mhm.
There's a
It's
quick
in
thing I
LA
want to.
too. Like, it's Hollywood, y'all. Like, so it has to be. It's in Mackie and the rest of these dudes has to be there because it brings in casuals.
Yeah.
And that's why they put so many ads and stuff, because again,
That's
they
true.
got to pay the bills.
That's true.
All it is the money. The whole business is about the money. That's why, oh my God, that's why Call of Duty is. Do y'all remember a time when Call of Duty wasn't considered a AAA title? Like,
Yeah.
it was a transition after Halo. Once people said, "Oh my God, you can make a story with a first-person shooter, and we can do LAN parties." And then when the internet advent of the internet started, you could do multiplayer online.
Yeah.
That's when, and then COD 2, and that had a story. That had a 10-15 hour campaign.
Yeah, the Big
So
Red
they
or
should be
whatever.
mad.
Yeah, that.
They should be pissed off that, we're calling you out, but the bad thing about it, we can talk all the stuff we want, but again, I just said I'll buy $100 game, and y'all just said you'll buy a $70 Dragon Ball game, so we're the part of the problem, because you vote with your
We are.
dollar. Oh, you go, Ash, my bad.
It's all good.
About the gaming awards too much is because I'd rather have this and be alone than not have nothing at all.
I
'Cause
agree.
I was around where it was nothing
I agree.
at all, where I had to read magazine. We'll still get it online, but just the fact to be included in like gaming is like to see Mackie, to see athletes, and to see other people. Like that's why I love the fact that like a lot of basketball players like Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns, they actually play the games. Parsons on the Cowboys, which is just kicking the crap out of the freaking Eagles right now. They play games, and you can see it because that gives light. Man, if you liked it, video games and anime back in the day, you got no play, and that was not meant to rhyme. So to see it now, I I'm automatically, unless you just completely just bomb, I'm gonna give it a C just for you having it there. A little less Jeff, a little more Sydney, but other than that, yeah, go ahead.
There's that one guy, real quick, that one guy who's really into anime, who plays football. I forgot his name. But like,
What did he play?
well, he's really into Naruto. Like he does like stuff like even when I don't know what position he plays, but I know on the field he'll do like Naruto hand signs, or he does like crazy stuff all the time.
You know what team?
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, but I
um,
forgot. Holy crap!
he's
Football?
Yeah, he plays
Not really a big
football, and
sports dude.
he's huge into anime. He did a thing on Naruto Cross Boruto, the Ultimate Ninja Storm Connection thing.
I think I know who you're talking about recently.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
But yeah,
didn't he come in as one of the Akatsuki for Halloween?
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff. Like he's huge into anime. But yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know like when I found that out, because I was watching the NFL, they have that like sport versus sport or whatever thing. They have like the YouTube video where like they'll bring like soccer players against football players, and they like do each other's sport and stuff like that. He went to Japan, and he was showing like how he's a huge like anime fan and stuff like that.
What you call it is in there. Hachimura, that's on the Lakers, on my Lakers. He's gonna be in an anime. He's big, but that shit's light on it. He's gonna be in an anime.
Jamal Williams. Yeah, Jamal Williams. Like his picture, his NFL picture, according to here, is him with the Leaf Village headband. Like when they show his like picture like for the like NFL, when they talk about it, that's his picture that they use, and he has the Jonin jack. I don't know if this is like a fun like
on Lions. He's on the Lions.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a like a parody thing, but no, that's it. Yeah, it shows right here. It's on. Yeah, it's on here. Like if you just type in like anime football player, it says fans love NFL stars anime inspired player introduction, and it's him, and he has a Jonin jacket, and he has a Leaf Village headband. But yeah, go ahead, Ash. Go with what you were gonna say.
I'm not the biggest Megan Thee Stallion guy, but she also shed light on stuff too. Just because she liked it.
Yeah, Ash, what were you gonna say?
I just want to have one quick comment, and I think Geek already said this already, but I feel like maybe more probably going off of what he said is like maybe for the Game Awards, which I don't think you probably won't not be as profitable, to be honest, but I think this is a true way to do it, is instead of doing game announcements for like AAA titles, why not just have the dedicated announcements go towards indie titles and stuff, right? And you can like select a few indies that they think that they should deserve a spot in the Game Awards, so that way more time goes more towards to the actual award winnings for the contestants and stuff. So that way it's like an even playing field between AAA developers and indie games and stuff. Now, I know they treated indie titles fairly in the Game Awards back then. Now, if I remember, didn't Among Us win one of the game of the years one time, or did it did not?
I don't think so.
I think it got family friendly, didn't it, or family game?
I know Among Us
the first year.
I know Among Us won a good amount of awards. I think back in 2020, I think, or something like that. But yeah, it's always cool to see something like that win, right? But yeah, I feel like instead of like doing the announcements for the AAA titles, do it for indies, because to be perfectly honest with you, Square Enix would have been better off to just releasing the entire trailer onto their own main channel, and everyone will still be going to it. Same goes for Monster Hunter Wilds. What's up?
No, it got multiplayer game of the year in 2020, but the controversy was because the game came out in 2018.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, but yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, that didn't need to be at the Game Awards. Everyone knows what the game is. People can just go to Capcom's YouTube channel and watch it from there. Same goes for Sega too. Okay, that's a bit debatable, I guess, for the classics that they announced.
I think that was a huge announcement for the Game Awards.
You think they're better off just releasing that onto their channel, to be honest, or
they could. So like the point of Monster Hunter Wilds, right, and the Sega announcement was because it got those people who were excited, like Monster Hunter fans, right, were hyped, and maybe a lot of those don't watch the Game Awards. Now they might, right? Because now Jeff did that in play. Same thing, that Sega thing was a huge announcement for them, especially to put it midway, because then that brought the hype back in, because people were probably already like at that low. Because
That's
you
true.
gotta figure out award show, you start up high, excited, and as it goes down, you go down, and you need something to get you back at that high, and that was like that high point because it hit everybody's nostalgia.
I feel it can be achieved with indie games too. I feel
Mhm.
because like I'm pretty sure there's a ton of indie games out there that we still haven't known yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still may capture those same feelings we had when we first started playing games and stuff.
Yeah.
We just don't pay attention to those as often. I mean, I know you are, James, a good bit, especially with the Sea of Stars thing going on right now. But like, yeah, yeah, I feel like if they were to like switch up the announcement to be mainly just indie announcements, basically have Nintendo's indie showcase be like mesh into it, I think it'll work out just as fine, I believe, and stuff, and just mainly just focus on the Game Awards most of the time. So,
Yeah. I
but
agree.
yeah,
We'll see. But we're gonna wrap it up right now because we did go over a lot of time. I apologize for that. As always, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 600 subscribers on YouTube. And also follow us over at Twitch. Does help out. Every follow does count. I don't really have a hard set goal on follows on Twitch. It's really the YouTube that I'm trying to pump up there. So yeah, like I said, share the channel, subscribe, does help out a lot. Ash, where can they catch you at?
I'd ask to show him on my YouTube channel, so I haven't uploaded anything yet.
What about you, Fan?
I mean, you can find me here on Twitch and what's the other one? X? What is it called now?
Yeah, X.
We're still calling it Twitter. We're still calling it
Okay.
Twitter. Do not give Elon more ammo. It's called Twitter.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitch, YouTube at Phaneckswhy.
And what about you, Geek? Where can they catch you at?
You can find me over on YouTube under The Geek Show and on Twitch. YouTube, I make videos. I'm there 7 days a week now. And I stream 3 times a week on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And basically anywhere else social media is, just type in The Geek Show and with a A, not 2 E's. I'm there.
Yep. And shout out to
Watch your
Archives.
I was gonna say,
I'll
shout out
say,
to Archives.
shout out to Archives. Make sure you watch Archives. Great. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
what-
Appreciate that.
what I love about Archives too is like one of those things, like I'll put it on and I'll have it in the background while I'm doing stuff, and of course I'll chat with you while I'm doing it. But it's like just listening to the games, because a lot of games, like, especially when you're doing like Lost Odyssey or like even Valkyrie, not Valkyrie Profile, Valkyria Chronicles, it's just like nostalgia, because those games I played a long time ago, and it's soothing. It feels like Toonami back then. So huge shout out. Definitely watch Archives. Highly recommend it. Amazing thing. Like I said, just put it on in the background, watch it, give it a view. I think you'll enjoy it. It's nice to have in the background while you're doing stuff, and then take a peek at gameplay and see all that stuff. But yeah, and as always, you can find me here at the Random Encounter, where we do podcasts and videos and things like that. We try to do stuff and trying to do stuff. I apologize that I haven't had a video in 2 weeks. I just don't have a mic. I'm gonna try to do a video this week. It's just, I'm that type of person that if something's not to my standards minimum, I don't want to pull it out. I don't want to just throw content out there just to throw content out there. I wanted to make sure it sounds good and it's bearable. So I try my best to do that. So I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with this week for a video. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Geek. Thank you, Fan. We'll be back next Sunday at the same time. We will have a special guest also next Sunday. So definitely come out and check us out, and we will see you guys next time.